So as you can probably tell, this is a bit of a special episode, what with it being 3 hours long. This is a extended rant from Aleks, akin to my Homestuck rants of years past. I thought this was a pretty fun episode. This is just kind of a one-off special. There's going to be a more traditional episode coming pretty soon. I thought this would be fun in the meantime, so I hope you enjoy it.
Hey Tad,
Yes, Aleks?
let me tell you about Danganronpa and how much I hated it.
Oh, we're taking it back, Aleks. When was the last time we did a Let Me Tell You About, where one of us just bitched about a video game?
Shit, like fucking 2 years. We turned into a history podcast by fucking accident.
Well, that's fine. History is much more entertaining than complaining about anime video games.
Fucking honestly.
So, we're recording this on Super Bowl Sunday, Aleks. So this is our Puppy Bowl. This is not good enough content to be put out at any time other than when the Super Bowl is airing, and we know that absolutely no one is going to listen.
I'm gonna be honest, I have never once in my fucking life watched the Super Bowl.
Uh, Hold on. I have a really short but really funny Super Bowl story I'm going to share.
Go ahead.
Hey, welcome to the Let Me Tell You About Danganronpa episode. Let me tell you about the Super Bowl.
You're gonna put this at the end of the episode, though. You can't open the episode like that.
I'll put this at the end. Fuck it.
Okay.
But one year when the Super Bowl was going on, it was the Chicago Bears versus, I don't fucking know, the Packers. Who gives a shit? And my mom took us to an indoor amusement park that was like this big fancy like lodge you could stay at. And we went in there, and there was one ride that I really enjoyed. It was like you just went up like 3 stories in the air and it just dropped you, right? And you get that primal fear. You go sponge guard for a bit. And we rode it like 14 times in a row. And I noticed after ride number 4 that there was a big old screen they were setting up. They had a big giant screen and they were showing the Super Bowl on it. And the next time I went up, I looked over there again and I noticed there was no one there except for one guy. So every time I went up, I went to see, what is this guy doing? And he got progressively more and more beers, and he was sitting by himself. And I realized this man was dragged here by his family. He wants to do nothing except just watch the fucking Super Bowl. And he is downing $6 beers one after another, sitting away from his wife and kids, watching the Super Bowl on a fucking bed sheet spread across the wall by the people who work at the fucking amusement park.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That story is too funny not to share. So, Danganronpa.
Anyway,
Is this like Anime Phoenix Wright or something?
Okay,
Explain to me what, Aleks. Now, I know this is kind of like a weird concept, but could you tell me about Danganronpa?
See, you guys aren't gonna hear what he just fucking went off to about for 40 fucking minutes. Alright,
You'll hear it at the end.
Okay. So Tad, what you're saying is what I wanted it to be. What you're asking is what I went into expecting it to be. Damn, was I fucking wrong, dog?
You went in here expecting like, I'm gonna object with facts and logic, and I'm gonna cross-examine a parrot.
So, now you might be thinking, damn, cross-examining that parrot was really fucking stupid. Alright, so anyway, in Danganronpa, Danganronpa is set up in a way where it's like, I knew it wasn't exactly finished right. I expected it to be kind of like anime Clue. Clue's a game of who done it, right? You and your like 4 other whatever. I don't know how many fucking people play Clue. I haven't played Clue since I was like 6. You all get into your house, someone kills another, and you gotta figure out who done it or whatever, right? You gotta figure out the mystery. So in this case, you got 16 students all locked in some location, and they got a battle royale, fucking their asses out, and only one can survive. But, they don't initially just want to fucking kill all of each other. They're just a bunch of fucking teenagers. So when one person dies, the other's got to find out who done it. If the person who murders them gets away with it, and they couldn't find out who did it, that person who you get to kill would win, and everyone else would die. And
So they're getting so it is battle royale, but it's like within a school or something that they're like trapped in.
It's different every game.
Okay, I assume it's like the first one's like a school. And then it's like, oh, we're on a tropical island or trapped in like a giant mansion or something.
Well, congratulations. You got 2 and 3 right back to back. Anyway, so moving on. So
Cat, I'm gonna kill you.
So anyway,
I'm gonna hold on. I have to grab this stinky fucking gay boy because he's attacking my stuff. All right, continue. I'm just gonna hold him prisoner in my lap.
Cat.
Stop looking at me. Stop fucking looking at me. He keeps
Ted,
like
please.
looking at me and slowly blinking. So I'm gonna fucking punch him because he's mocking me.
Anyway, you're all locked in the school and you gotta figure out who done it. So with it set up, I figured it wasn't gonna be exactly Phoenix Wright. I figured it was gonna have some kind of gameplay elements. Like it's a visual novel, and you'd be discussing all this shit. But in reality, it's a lot more like it's just filled with a lot of fucking cats purring in the fucking microphone. Ted, throw it outside.
I heard it through my head. This is a good Danganronpa episode. I was like, holy shit!
I'm about to re-record this.
Loud.
Dude, why did you say that? Now I have to do the whole episode over again. Okay, I'm literally gonna make a new recording if you keep this shit up.
I'm gonna drop him. Okay, I'm gonna drop him.
To put him outside.
I can't. Then he's gonna miss me, and he's my fur baby, Alex. You wouldn't understand. You've never owned cats.
I am trying to carry this podcast so hard.
Go ahead.
You were talking about cats and Super Bowl Sunday, Ted. You are like the combination of some old grandma and an old man fused together. I am trying to talk about this new visual novel. You're like, that's nice, sweetie. Go give me my meds while I go get grandpa his Super Bowl fucking beer.
My kitty purrs so loud. That's cool, Ted. Time to go to bed.
Oh, I fucking god. Okay, I'm gonna start this from the fucking beginning now because you're fucking ass.
just keep going, keep going.
I don't even know where I left off on.
Battle Royale. They're in a school.
Okay. So they're locked in a fucking school and they gotta get out. So the way I have to go through like the entire fucking series because I can't just summarize it and just say like what I didn't like. Like I have to tell you the story. Because I went into this game wanting to like it, and man, was that a fucking mistake. Much like almost every other video game I seem to play nowadays, this severely disappointed me. So, let's begin with the very first game, how this all fucking... Actually, no. Let's go back a little further. Let's figure out how I even bought this fucking series. One fucking day, my friend invited me to VR chat, which was a fucking mistake, by the way. I was looking through the models of Danganronpa because he really likes Danganronpa. I've known about it. I want to check it out, but I don't really know anything about it other than like a couple of characters. Like Toko, for instance, I've used her as an art reference a couple times because she's got the glasses and the braided hair. I wanted to learn how to like draw that hair, you know, just an art reference. So I pick her model because I just like the design of it. And he's like, "Well, you fucking," he's like really fucking British. So he says, "Whoa, what," and shit like that. But he speaks to me like Rayman from Rayman 2, and he tells me, he says, "Yo, gonna do one day, or a twister, yo, yabba do," and so he's like, "Hey, you can't fucking use that if you haven't played the fucking games. You fucking. This is what he sounds like to me.
He sounds like that guy who made that 6.5 hour long every single Simpsons episode where he just sounds like vaguely British. I think he's Irish or from Wales, but Wales is like its own country, I think.
He's vaguely human, I think is what you're going for.
No, the British are not human.
So anyway. So he says basically, I translate it. He says I can't use it if I haven't played the game. I can't be a fucking filthy secondary. And I said, all right, you know what, bitch? If that game is on sale right now on Steam, I'll fucking buy it. It's on sale for $20. All right, fine.
You got monkey's pawed.
So it was the first the three games. There was actually another bundle that had Ultra Despair Girls in it, which is a different game that we'll get to in order. I was going to buy that, but then I was stopped. I was like, no, Alex, don't buy that. I'm like, but it's part of the series. No, Alex, don't buy that. I'm like, but isn't it a sequel? No. I go to a different person. Should I get this game part of the series? No, Alex, you shouldn't buy that game. It sucks. I go to a third person. Okay, hang on a minute. Is this game really that bad? Yes. It's $11. No. I mean, $11 is only $11. No, Alex. But it's got Toko in it. No. So I didn't play that one. I just watched a video on it, as recommended by the Danganronpa fans themselves. In fact...
And that was the one that was like a third-person shooter or something?
It's a third-person shooter / like action game, because Toko's like a melee character. Basically, I could quickly summarize that. Imagine if a bunch of people who have only ever made visual novels tried to make a third-person shooter. So it just plays like shit. We'll get to its story when I get to it. So anyway, that's my setup of how I went into this. So I knew very little spoilers. So I got to enjoy the story mostly spoiler-free. And that's the way you want to do it. And I should say this at the start. This game is, it's a detective game basically, and it's very story focused. So I'm gonna spoil basically everything of all of the fucking products, all of them, the games, the anime, the spinoff, everything. I'm gonna spoil it. All right. So if you still want to play that game, I don't know, fuck off or something. You can have my spoiler-free review of I was disappointed. Now let's get into the fucking series for real. All right. So first game starts up. You play as this guy named Makoto. Please look at my little sheet that I've given you of all the characters, so you can keep track of everything, stay along.
The audience could follow along too if I don't forget to put it in the description like last time.
Yeah, you can see my shitty MS Paint image I gave to Ted because I'm not gonna give him 16 different JPEGs. I'll just give him one like giant one.
Actually, this is a PNG. See, I contribute to the podcast.
Ooh! Why don't you bring the fucking cat back on here and have it host the fucking podcast, huh?
I am having to fight him to keep him off me. He's like standing up and putting his arms on my legs, demanding to get up here, but he purrs too loud. I'm gonna crush his skull.
So, you play as typical anime protagonist, oh man, I'm so unsure of myself.
Anime.
I'm so unsure of myself. I'm such a fucking loser and dweeb and normal. Bleh, no, anime character. Yeah, he's protag-kun. So his whole thing is he wants to go to a place called Hope's Peak Academy, this really prestigious school that if you go there, your future is set. You can get any job you want anywhere. It's just really fancy place, right? Now, everyone who goes there, you cannot just apply there. You can't just go there, you can't pay nothing. You have to be scouted by having some kind of talent. To be really good at something. That is the ultimates. Now, in Japanese, this name is actually different. It's called the super high school level, and then whatever they are. Now, it sounds dumber, but it's actually more plot relevant, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But in English, it's translated to the ultimate. So that's why you have, like, Sayaka there, the ultimate idol. Kyoko, the ultimate detective. Byakuya, the ultimate effluent progeny. It gets a little weird at that point.
That just sounds like your parents are really rich. It just sounds like you have Elon Musk, whatever their kid's name was. There was like, Elon Musk has some kid who's named like a math symbol.
Oh yeah, fucking the Final Fantasy kid.
Yeah. Cat? All right. You lost. That's it. You lost your podcast privileges. 1 second. He wants attention and affection. He ain't getting neither. Oh, stop meowing. Okay, I have locked my cat outside and given him food. Hopefully he doesn't vomit it all up.
Fucking, alright, anyway. So Hope's Peak wants all these talented individuals in it. So Makoto there, you notice he's called the ultimate lucky student, because what they do is every single year, Hope's Peak has a lottery, and they just find a random high schooler across Japan, and they pull their name, and if they get it, then they get to be in the school, because that's your talent. You must be lucky to be able to just, randomly get allowed into our school like this. That's their thought process.
Do they pay for, like, your family to live in, like, the area? Or do they just import you, like, is it like a boarding school, or do they live in the area?
They're dorms on the school, so they basically just fucking take you and just make you live there.
They Harry Potter your ass. They Hogwarts you. There we go.
Yeah, you could say no. You don't have to go there, but like it's such a prestigious, fancy school. Remember, the thing is that if you go there and you graduate, you can get any job you want anywhere, and so you're never gonna say no to that. It's just a really nice place. So Makoto was like, "Boy, I can't wait for my new life to start now." Walks into the school, immediately passes out, wakes up. Everything looks fucking crazy now. All the windows are like not boarded up, but like plated up with fucking like screws. These big platings. They're like machine gun turrets pointed everywhere. There are monitors and cameras looking all over the place. It looks like a fucking death zone. And he's like, "What in the fucking hell is this shit?" He wakes up. 15 other people around him, or I should say 14 other people all around him. That's every other character I listed right here. Except for that last one, that's a spoiler. Ooh. But anyway, he's like, "What in the fucking hell is going on here?" They all go, "What in the fucking hell is going on here?" The TV turns on, Monokuma, teddy bear down there. He's like, "Hey everybody, I want you to all start battle royale killing each other." And they're like, "No, that's fucking stupid." And so
I'm just going to call my parents and tell them that this is happening, and then the police will arrive.
Well, unfortunately, all of their fucking belongings have been stolen. I mean, remember, they got blacked out as soon as they walked in there. Everything's gone. And they can't get out. Everything's boarded up, and there's a giant fucking like metal gate in front of us. It's like a Fallout door, right? You know, the big fucking
cogwheel. It sounds like Sakura could take that door.
No, she might be the ultimate martial artist, but she can't like I'm talking like Fallout the video game series, like giant gear door with a bunch of machine guns pointed at it. She can't deflect bullets, Tad.
You just gotta flex at the right time.
But anyway, you play as Makoto, you run around, you just talk to everybody and learn all their gimmicks, basically. Now, what I like about the characters here is that even though they all have these talents, they don't like overwrite the character. Like, say, fucking Toko there's the ultimate writer. You probably would forget that part because she's not. Her character isn't that she's a fucking novelist who specializes in romance novels. She's just the creepy fucking weird girl who, spoilers, has a twisted fucking second personality. Or like Celestia
I knew Aleks not to have any faith in you to get past Toko or the other one that's in this game, the Joker function.
The Joker function. No, I don't like the Joker function. You'll see what I mean when I get to her in about fucking 10 minutes. But like Celestia, there's the ultimate gambler. She doesn't fucking talk about gambling every 5 fucking minutes. She's mostly talking about just being high class and hoity-toity and shit. And the reason I'm saying this early is because once I get to Danganronpa 2, I'm gonna have some scathing fucking remarks about those characters. But they're all relatively solid. So, Monokuma gets a little upset that you guys aren't just immediately killing each other. So he's like, okay, hang on a minute. I can't just expect a bunch of just like 16-year-olds to just start stabbing each other. I gotta try a little harder than that. So he introduces his gimmicks. He introduces motives. He has to give you all a reason to want to stab each other, right? I mean, after all, saying he tells the rules, you kill somebody, you get away with it, you get out, right? Because obviously you're trapped in here, you want to fucking escape. But that's still not good enough. So what he does, the first motive, is he gives you all a little DVD. And each DVD is special to each person. It basically shows you what's happening outside in the real world while you're trapped in here. And so for like you, because you're Makoto, you see his is that he sees like his family all like congratulating him and saying like he can't wait, to go to Hope's Peak. And that hard cuts to his house is not destroyed, everything's torn up, there's like blood stains everywhere. And like, what happened to his family? Well, guess you gotta escape and find out, huh? Wink, and then the video ends. To try to, to scare you to get the fuck out, right? And so that first motive spawns the first murder. The murder of a character that you were actually very close to, Sayaka. So Sayaka there's the Maya function, and I really like her introduction because she's all close to you, she's like cute to you, she's all hitting on you and stuff, and then she immediately dies. I was actually surprised by that.
When did Danganronpa come out?
2010.
Okay, when did 999 Virtue's Last Reward come out?
If I recall correctly, it's actually the exact same company that made it.
Oh, okay, because I was about to say this is just 999. That's the start of this. Is the exact 2012 for that, and then 2010 for Danganronpa.
Remember, this is what they do. They make fucking drama visual novels. It's their MO. But anyway, I liked that initial murder because coming from Phoenix Wright, I assumed, oh, she's helping me like run around and talk to everybody. Obviously, she's going to be the Maya. Nah, she just gets fucking shanked and dies.
Okay.
So you had to think about, oh fuck, oh shit. Well, who done it? And you do the new fucking thing you investigate. And what I like about the investigation is like it's like first person, so you just run around the school like in first person and just click on everything. So the first case is actually really bad because the very first case,
it's a tutorial. They're never really entertaining.
Yeah. So she gets murdered in your bathroom because you swap rooms in the previous night, and she gets murdered there. So then everyone naturally suspects you of killing her because she died there. And when she died, she writes down the numbers like 11037 on like the wall. But in thinking, she needs to immediately figure out, oh wait, that just spells Leon. Oh, Leon did it.
I was about to say, I've seen that. I've seen that image, and someone sent it to me. And I'm like, okay, whoever Leon is killed this person.
Yeah, like,
and they're like, well, how did you figure that out? I'm like, well, I just looked with my eyes.
Yeah, it's a really bad case, and I actually went to the public Discord. You probably, if anyone was there like a couple weeks ago, well, I guess like a month ago at this point, you probably would have seen me ask the question, okay, does this get better? Because this is really stupid. And everyone's just like, yeah, don't worry. The first case is just a tutorial. So anyway, you very quickly figure out that Leon did it. And Leon's actually a very interesting character. I really like him for how short of like a screen time he gets, because he's the ultimate baseball star, but he doesn't want to be. He actually wants to be a punk rock musician, but because he's good at baseball, he's kind of forced into doing that. And that
His
immediately,
parents are probably like, "Hey, why are you trying to do singing? You should be pitching balls."
basically, because again, he can get the Hope's Peak and get any job he wants. Why the fuck would he do what he wants when he can just do what he's good at?
Yeah.
But you go to the trial after doing all your investigation because it doesn't take very long to figure out who it is. I'm not gonna hype it up who the fuck killed this guy. It literally spells his name out. And then you go to the trial section. The trial section, I actually really like the setup of this. So yeah, I've shown you the gameplay of this. You're all sitting around this big circle with the stands. Instead of the fucking Phoenix and then whoever the fucking prosecutor is and the stupid judge saying whatever stupid bullshit in the middle. This time everybody is talking about trying to figure out who the fuck did this shit because everyone kind of does the investigation on their own. AKA, you do all of the work because everyone is a fucking moron. So the way that every single trial goes down to is Makoto is like, oh man, I gotta figure out how to use that to solve this case. And then Kyoko will be there and she'll be like, I better give you some kind of really stupid on the nose hint about this case. And then Byakuya says something like, what, you can't figure it out? Huh, I expected more out of you. And then everyone else just says, Byakuya's up there on the top right, he's the asshole
The team
function.
leader.
Yeah, no. Byakuya is the ultimate rich guy.
Oh.
Team leader,
okay.
you know, fucking Ishimaru over there, he's just kind of there. He's a character. He doesn't actually do that much. Like, in all of, like, the downtime, like, he's fun, but, like, in terms of the actual, like, story, he offers very little. But anyway, in this system, you have to not debate or use menus. You have to point the gun. You just point a gun loaded with truth bullets. You have to shoot the incorrect statements. And I actually like that system because it's very stylish. So, like, some people like say, oh, wait, so, like, they were killed in, like, the foyer, right? And you go, bang! No, that's wrong! You tell them they're a fucking idiot to their face. So, the very first case, you basically go through this whole thing, you go through the motions, you figure out that Leon did it by, you know, he killed her in the bathroom, threw the fucking crystal ball to hit the fucking laundry thing. He did all this stupid bullshit. It's very simple. I don't even feel like going over it, really. I want to go over the second one because the second one's, like, way better. But basically, it starts me off in thinking, this gameplay is cool, but this story is kind of mediocre, right? That's the vibe I'm getting with right now, right? But case 2 happens. And this is when everything changes for me. So in between cases, you have what's called free time, where you can just run around and hang out with the characters and basically just do visual novel shit. Every character has little, like, friendship meters.
So you get to fuck around, and then you decide when you start case 2.
It's not when you decide you have, like, a time limit. So say, like, there's 3 days of free time, and then someone gets murdered. And then you have to figure out who done it, and then you get into the actual gameplay loop, right? But free time is basically you run around the school, you buy little gifts, and you can give them to people and just hang out and do, like, basically social links. And the reason you want to do this is because characters give you abilities to use in the trials. So say, like, Yasuhiro down there, the ultimate dude weeder, he gives you a thing that gives you extra time during all, like, to decide and, like, solve things, which is kind of useful, actually. If I was on hard mode. I started with normal mode, which was a mistake. It was a little too easy. I went to hard mode for all the other games.
Now, does everyone have, like, a cool ability?
Yes.
If you decide to become best friends with, like, Celestia Ludenberg.
Yes, and she's a good example. What she does is after you max her out, she gives you the ability that gives you extra money whenever you do something. Say you find coins in like, the overworld, because you use coins to buy gifts. You get, like, 20 of it instead of 10. You solve a case, you get 300, you'll get 600 instead. It's actually pretty awesome.
Now, here's the big question. I'm pretty sure Toko is one of the killers. What if you befriend her?
So what happens is in the very first game, it's set up in kind of dumb ways. So say, now as I mentioned Sayaka as the first victim, you can only hang out with her 3 times, and that maxes her, it's called a report card. That maxes her report card. So they only ever, like, if they're going to, like, either die or be a killer at a certain point, they'll have a suspiciously short card. But if you were to max it out, it doesn't really affect the story, but you do still get whatever their ability was before that. And the way they're all set up is that, like, say, like, you hang out with them, and they'll say something ominous about, like, where they're gonna set up. Like, Sayaka is actually, like, in case 1's it's almost kind of evil. What she does is when you hang out with her, she starts getting really close to you, and she's, like, really pretty. She's like an idol. She's like, you know, Makoto thinks she's very hot. And she asks you, oh, do you have a girlfriend by any chance? He's like, well, no, I'm the fucking anime protagonist. And she's like, well, I am kind of interested in somebody. Winks loudly. And that's supposed to set up for the case 1, because what happens in case 1 is that the reason she switched rooms with you wasn't so that she could just go get stabbed by Leon. It's actually she was going to kill Leon and set you up for murder. She was getting close to you to fuck you over.
Okay.
So her report card is basically just supposed to amplify that betrayal, right?
Because
So
it's like one notch or whatever.
yeah. So like if you were to just do it, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. But if you were to do the report card and then hear how she was like hitting on you like that, and then she would betray you, it would make it feel like worse, right? They're all kind of set up like that. Actually,
That's
I really like.
something. That's something about Phoenix Wright that I was always a little disappointed in. Was how the people that are involved in the Phoenix Wright cases, you don't really like. Besides like a Larry Butts, you don't really give a shit about them. Like they don't like. You're not really invested in who's someone that you defend. That one lady guard that one, like, she's like a fresh recruit, like you just kind of defend her. You don't really give a shit. Like you don't interact with them that much other than just them telling you they did not spit in that man's coffee or whatever the case is.
Pretty much. Everyone you meet in Phoenix Wright, you just kind of meet once, and then you just do the case. They kind of speed you through it. With this game, though, because you can hang out with the characters, they can also be taken away, though. And I actually really like that setup. And I'll get to that in 1 second. So, with her dying, I was like, oh, okay. So case 1, while it was flimsy, it still drew me in enough that I really wanted to do case 2. And this is when I really started to like the series. Well, I shouldn't say the series, the game. So in the free time, I hung out with, because Sayaka and Leon are fucking dead now, right? And also, a third character dies. Junko dies right at the start of the game. She gets stabbed by Monokuma. So after the murder happens, Junko's like, fuck you, we ain't playing this fucking bullshit, and she tries to attack the robot, who says, that's against the rules, and a bunch of spears come and shank the living shit out of her and kill her. So 3 people die immediately at the start of the game.
Hold on. Now, if I can tell, I'm pretty sure Junko comes back because she's the Joker function, and you showed me the clip of the anime. So this is 1-to-1 999 right now, because Zero does the exact same thing, and then he's revealed to be like really important to the killer's plot. So it sounds like this is, I would say it's parallel thinking, but isn't this the exact same company?
I mean, I haven't played 999, so I'm inclined to believe that they're just ripping off their own products. So anyway, 3 people immediately dead. So I'm like, oh god, I should probably pick who I hang out with more better now. Who knows? Like 4 people might fucking just die in Ash. I don't know how long this game is. Shit. So I decided to hang out with. You actually only get like 2 days. I hung out with 2 different people this time. I hung out with Chihiro, the ultimate femboy up there, and I hung out with Mondo because Mondo looks fucking awesome with his pompadour, right? And so then what happens is that after hanging out with Chihiro, I hang out with Chihiro like twice. The case happens and they find a body. I go up into the 2nd floor. Chihiro is fucking murdered. Chihiro was beat to death with a blunt instrument, and then their body was strung up in a hanging position in like a cross thing with a bunch of fucking blood writing out the word bloodlust behind him. I was like, oh my fucking god, he got brutally murdered. Holy shit. Holy fuck, I just hung out with him yesterday. Oh fuck. Oh no. So at that moment, I realized, damn, no wonder this setup's so popular. That's pretty fucking good. Because now I can't hang out with that person anymore. I can't match their little friendship meter anymore. They're gone. They're just dead. And I was super invested into the fucking story now. And I was like zoned in. I fucking loved Case 2 so much, dude. I was streaming this entire game for my friends over on my Discord. They were so like happy I was so into it because they like really liked Danganronpa over there. Unfortunately for them.
Oh no.
So... No, that was a good case. So you go through this case, you have to figure out all this bullshit. You basically have to figure out, because at this point you don't actually know that Chihiro's a boy. So you have to figure out that Chihiro was killed in the women's locker room, but he was actually killed in the men's locker room and then dragged over there. But you're like, why the fuck was Chihiro in the men's locker room? And you have to figure out that Chihiro's actually a guy. And you're like, oh, what the fuck? Holy shit, this place is the... What? Yeah, I mean, I kind of already knew that was one thing I was spoiled on, but, either way, in the universe, it's still pretty cool. And so what ends up happening is the killer is eventually revealed because they found out that Chihiro had a sports outfit that they brought in their duffel bag. Celestia saw Chihiro run away with the duffel bag, and one character speaks up and says, oh yeah, I don't have a blue tracksuit like them. Mine's black instead. And you go like, well, hold it right there. We never said what color it was. How did you know that? And the character was Mondo. the other character I hung out with the previous fucking day too.
Oh, so you fucking you chose the optimal setup to get surprised.
I chose the optimal setup to feel that gut punch. Because the killer was fucking Mondo. Not only did I like both of those characters and hung out with them, but also Chihiro looked up to Mondo. So the fact that Mondo did that hit even harder because Chihiro mentions how much they like hanging out. Because Chihiro looked up, because like Chihiro's thing is that even though Chihiro just is like a girl and everything, he doesn't want to do that. He does it because he gets made fun of all the time for being like a wimp. But he wants to become he wants to be a Chad. He wants to be one. So he looks up to Mondo and is like, hey, let's go work out and train together. And the motive for that case was actually very interesting. It was called Your Most Embarrassing Secret. He gave everyone a little piece of paper that basically just revealed it. And he said, if you don't start a killing, I'll reveal this to everybody. So initially, like a couple of you, like Makoto's secret was just that he used to wet the bed until he was in like 5th grade. That's not really that. You wouldn't kill for that, right? And like a bunch of them like, even if your embarrassing secret happens, if someone reveals it, I mean, they might mock you, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, no one's gonna murder for a secret. Well, what if someone's secret...
That guy pissed himself under the threat of murder. I'm being harsh on it because it's just, I don't know. The teenagers trapped in a setting and having to do the battle royale thing is something that I'm already like, So I'm being uncharacteristically harsh to the setup.
No, don't worry. Your harshness is unjustified for the first game, but it's going to be justified once I get to chapter 6. Just don't worry. I'm getting there.
Justified.
So anyway, so where did I fucking leave off of? There's Mondo was the murderer.
That Mondo had the tracksuit.
Oh yeah. The
they were gonna hang out and like lift weights or something.
It was the secret. That's what it was. So what the secret was is that you wouldn't murder for a secret, but what if your secret was you were a murderer? You wouldn't want people to know. You wouldn't want people to know that. What if your secret was you were cross-dressing for the past like 5 years of your life and no one knows? What if your secret was something a little more dastardly than just wetting the bed? And so that's when the murder happens. But you're thinking, well, why would Mondo do that? Here's what happened. So this case is all set up that you think it's going to be Toko. Because Byakuya reveals... So Toko has a thing for Byakuya. And she tells him her secret, because she's just into him. And Byakuya immediately backstabs and just reveals to everybody, like, oh yeah, didn't you tell me that you were Genocide Jack? Like, that's bullshit! You said you wouldn't tell anybody! Well, yeah, well, I just did. Now, aren't you a fucking serial killer? And she, like, snaps and Genocide Jack wakes up. And Genocide Jack reveals that she didn't do it. Yeah, she doesn't kill girls. She only kills fucking hot boys. And that's when you have to reveal that, you have to figure out, like, oh wait, Chihiro was a boy. And she's like, oh shit, I didn't know that. Well, maybe I would have killed him if I knew that. But no, it wasn't me. You're like, well then who the fuck did it? And that's when you figure out that it was Mondo. And so Mondo did it because Chihiro basically triggered him by accident by mentioning, like, he said his trigger word. He's like, I just want to get strong like you because you're the strongest guy I know. And that like fucking made him go like, and think of it in the past. In the past, what happened was that he used to be really obsessed with his strength. He's a biker guy, right? He's in a gang. What he did, he was very insecure about his strength. He challenged his older brother to a game of chicken, and his brother fucking tried to save him and stop him, and died for it. He got hit by a fucking bus. So Mondo is the reason his brother died, and that's his secret. His secret is he killed his brother and took over the gang. The gang doesn't know that he's the cause of it, though, so he doesn't want people to know that and then lose literally everything. So when Chihiro mentioned that, like, his whole, like, backstory about how he wants to be strong and everything, it kind of freaked Mondo the fuck out, which caused him to snap for 1 fucking second and hit Chihiro in the back of the head with a fucking dumbbell and just murdered him. Mondo freaked the fuck out because he didn't want to do that. He liked the guy. He freaked out and dragged the body into the girls' bathroom, specifically because the girls' locker room, just to keep Chihiro's secret for him. But then Byakuya comes in and sets the body up to look like a Toko murder just because he felt like doing that and he's an asshole. Which, by the way, unfortunately, because he's not the murderer, he didn't do it. He just tampered with the crime scene. He doesn't get punished for that. So he gets away with that, but he's just an asshole.
What was his reason for doing that again? To set up this fake murder?
Unironically, because he wanted to make the trial more interesting. Now, if you didn't hate the character yet,
So you said that this was the best of the three games. This is not sounding like it's like a super good game series so far. This sounds like it's a lot of contrivances to make an anime plot move forward.
Yeah, well, we say that, Dad. So anyway, everyone basically hated Byakuya at this fucking point. So then the fourth case, or sorry, then the fucking third case happens. The third case happens, and it's a double murder. Two people end up being dead. Some weird guy in a robot suit keeps running around hitting everybody with a fucking hammer. He murders her. He murders Hifumi, the fat guy right there, the ultimate fanfic writer, which in Japanese is the ultimate doujin writer. So he's dead, and then fucking Ishimaru there also dies. Just fucking murdered. You're like, oh shit, alright, who fucking did it? So it all answers point to Yasuhiro. He was the one in the robot suit. But you very quickly realize that, well, one, if they're gonna throw a guy immediately, you know it's not gonna be them, that it's a fucking detective thing. But also, he was locked in the suit. He couldn't take it off on his own. Why would you ever construct a suit like that? After all, he's the ultimate dude weeder. He would never fucking commit this convoluted ass murder.
It sounds to me like he made his own KILLDOZER. KILLDOZER, he was unable to leave, so...
Well, I don't know what that is, so...
Oh, KILLDOZER, a guy had gotten fucked over so many times by his municipal government that he took a bulldozer, suited it up like a tank, and destroyed the police station, city hall, and a bunch of other things. Trapped in KILLDOZER. It just bulldozed them, and they couldn't stop him.
Jesus Christ.
He sealed himself in it.
I should also mention something about Yasuhiro here, is that his actual title is he's the ultimate clairvoyant. However, he's not good at it. He's only right 30% of the time. So what we did is we created a character for Yasuhiro in our Discord because of the way he dresses, that he just smokes a lot of fucking pot. So he's the ultimate.
Dude,
he's the ultimate
fucking epic.
He's the ultimate dude weeder, but he's not actually. It's just the plot we gave him.
What is that clipping noise? Are you like trimming your nails?
Oh, sorry, I'm picking at this fucking pen while I'm talking. I'm clicking this pen.
Yeah, that's coming through very clearly.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, the point is...
Aleks, could you get your pen away from the microphone, please?
Oh, we're talking here, Mr. fucking... Hey, I'll give you... Hang on to post 20 pictures of my fucking cat! So, anyway. Yasuhiro definitely didn't do it.
I heard the click, you piece of shit.
I didn't touch it that time. I didn't do shit. Anyway. Yasuhiro obviously didn't do it. You gotta figure out who did it. Well, there's literally, once again, this case is set up in a really cool way, but unfortunately, they spoil it themselves, because they have Sakura there, the ultimate martial artist. She's set up in a way, because this is a PSP game, I should say. So, like, a Vita game. So, it's set up in a way where, like, it's a handheld, so in case you went away, you can ask Sakura for, like, you know, a recap of the events, because it's a really long, like, setup, right? Totally, I understand game design why they did that. But the way they set it up, they say one line that kind of gave it away, where they mentioned that Hifumi, like, if he died downstairs on the first floor, how did his body get up on the third floor? There's no way someone can carry that fat motherfucker up here. Yeah, it's almost like he walked up here by himself or something. And I was like, oh, god damn it, he didn't die down there, did he? So they immediately give away, like, the fucking, like, twist of that case, right then and there. But either way, it was a fun little case anyway. Spoilers, the killer was Celeste. The motive was $10 million. So she wanted to use $10 million and her own gambling winnings to buy a fancy European castle and, you know, live in that fancy European castle with 15 different vampire-themed butler-maid dudes. Because she's, yeah, just a teenage girl who's into that. And so that was her fucking gimmick. I want to speed through this because we're getting already long.
What did that have to do with him?
With Hifumi? She convinced Hifumi to help her. And then she killed him at the end when he got upstairs.
Help her how? By giving her a bunch of money?
So Hifumi, he kills Ishimaru. He lures Ishimaru over to like this one room, kills him, and then they drag his body away. And then when he's not looking, she kills him. It was an accomplice thing. She was just tying up a loose end. So they're dead.
Yeah, fast forward through.
Yeah, fast forward. They're dead. Celestia did it. Next fucking case. Now, case 4, I really like. It's a closed room case. Sakura fucking dies. And at this point, Sakura is like really cool, but here's the thing. The motive was that there was a traitor amongst you, and that traitor was Sakura. Sakura was working with Monokuma this entire time. She was giving him tips and like inside information of how we were all interacting in order to set up all these motives. So now no one trusts her and starts getting a big rift between the entire group. Aoi down there, who I haven't talked about because she's such an irrelevant character, she's very close with Sakura, and she's trying to get everyone to stop fighting, so they obviously just fight more. Eventually, this results in Sakura's dead body appearing in this room that's locked from the inside. So you figure out, okay, everyone had beef with her, and everybody was called into that room, like besides like you and like Aoi. So who the fuck could have done? Literally anybody could have done it, like at like fucking 8 a.m, right? So you gotta figure, you gotta narrow it down. And so you go through all this thing, and once again, it's set up in a way where, okay, so initially, Toko is framed again for the murder, but it wasn't her, because you know who did it? Yasuhiro hit her in the back of the head with a fucking glass bottle and thought he killed her, but he didn't actually kill her. He just knocked her out and thought he did it. So you gotta prove that, you have to prove that he assaulted her in fear, because he thought that she brought him up there to kill him, because remember, she was the traitor. He thought,
gotcha.
he did it in a panic. And because Sakura was in there, he was like, all right, now when you're all here, I can finally end this. He was like, oh shit, and fucking grabs a fucking bottle, just bashes her in the fucking head and runs out. He was just an idiot. Toko was also in there, though, hiding in the room, because she was called there, too. She was like, oh, shit, he just fucking killed her and framed me. I better get rid of this evidence. And then Sakura wakes up, and she's like, what the fuck just happened? She's like, oh, shit, she's alive. Grabs another bottle and hits her in the fucking head and runs off also.
That's kind of funny.
But also, Sakura still didn't die. So she's not the killer, either. So Aoi comes in. She's like, what the fuck happened to you? She's like, please just go give me my fucking protein. I'm in so much fucking pain. So Sakura runs off, Aoi runs off to the fucking medicine cabinet, realizes that poison is missing, runs back to Sakura. The room's locked. Sakura fucking kills herself. That's how she actually died. And what actually happened is that Aoi set up the room like that so that everyone would not figure out the murderer and all die as punishment because they killed her best friend.
I had a feeling. I'm like, you said there was only two. It was the player and this other character. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's the other character.
Yeah.
For some Phoenix Wright reason, she killed her.
But no, it wasn't Aoi. Aoi just wanted you guys to suffer. So like, everyone's pretty much dead at this fucking point, as you've probably already been keeping track of everyone getting crossed off the list here. Now you go into case 5. Case 5 is the last good case of this game, and then it all goes downhill. So case 5...
Wait, how many fucking cases are in this game?
6.
Or do you mean game series?
Game series. Case 5 is the last good case of the entire game series, but there's 6 per game. And I'm going to speed through the other ones, so this is longer than I thought. Case 5, body shows up. Nobody knows who it is, though. So there's a secret person hiding around the school named Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student. So they attack you in the middle of the night, and then Kyoko fights them off in a fucking wrestling match. And then their body mysteriously shows up on like the 5th fucking floor of the school. When you go to reach over to investigate the body, a bomb goes off and explodes, and you can't recognize the remains anymore. So this entire thing is set up in a way where it's like, okay, if that was Mukuro in the mastermind, why is this still going on? Wait, what's going on? What's happening? What the fuck's happening? And this case is more about exploring the school and figuring out how this whole setup even happened. It's like world building and shit. Because it's like, wait, there's cameras all over. You find the camera room and everyone's watching. You find the TV, try to figure out, like, contact the outside world, like, you see what's going on in the outside world. The TV just shows you guys, like, hooking up the TV. Your entire situation is being broadcast to the entire world. All channels have been hijacked just to watch you all kill each other. You're like, what the fuck? So
this is like a big, this is not like a, in the Battle Royale movie, it's like a government appointed thing where they send all the kids to the island. In this, it's like someone somehow tricked a bunch of these students with either this fake letter that they were getting accepted to the school or whatever, and then it's like a Max Headroom thing.
Yes, you were basically all...
For Max Headroom, for those who don't know, a guy hijacked a bunch of TV stations, and they had this weird fucking puppet, and he like cut in on live TV and shit. You can Google it, it's really cool.
Yeah. Basically, so they were just all kidnapped, and they were all forced to kill each other while everyone outside was forced to watch this happen. Because remember, these guys are in Hope's Peak. They're supposed to be like prestigious-ass students, all being forced to murder each other. So it's supposed to be like super dramatic and shit. So you're like, what the fuck? What's going on? Who is doing this? How could they do this? You keep asking all of these fucking questions, and of course they're going to fucking answer it, but not right away. They're setting you up for some big disappointment. So you go through the entire case. You do everything to find out that it was Mukuro Ikusaba who was murdered there. But who murdered her? All fucking logic points to Kyoko, because she's the only one who was mysteriously missing this whole time. So you get presented with an option that actually has 2 different endings. You can either point out that Kyoko is the killer and get the bad ending, or you can keep your mouth shut and you take a game over, which then you get executed, but then saved the last second due to your ultimate luck, and then the chapter 6 begins.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So
because there's good reason to think it's not Kyoko.
Yeah,
but it gives you the option to say she is.
Mm-hmm. And I picked the bad ending by first because, like, oh, obviously she's the killer. They got me. They tricked me. So
that's a thing you can do in Leighton versus Phoenix Wright. The one that I tried to get you to play. You could just accuse someone of being a witch and it's the wrong one, and then they just die and you get a game over.
Fucking awesome, dude. So after that, you get to case 6, when everything in the series goes downhill, and I'll finally talk about how much I fucking hate Danganronpa. So you survive, obviously. Kyoko saves you. You have a fucking class trial again to prove that you weren't the murderer, even though you just were convicted of it earlier. You have to prove that it wasn't us that killed Mukuro. It was Junko that killed Mukuro because Junko is still alive. So so they do the whole trial, and you point out that it is in fact Junko, because the person that we thought was Junko at the start of the game was actually Mukuro in a Junko outfit, and the real Junko is still alive, hiding away in the school. So you call them out.
Why?
They'll explain. Don't worry, it'll be a very good explanation. Trust me, Ted. It's gonna be great. So
it's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
The real Junko shows up, and she's like, yeah, all right, maybe it was me. Maybe it wasn't. Who the fuck knows? Blah, 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 blah. And you're like, you're the fucking mastermind, Junko? What the fuck? And she's like, yeah, that's right. I'm the fucking mastermind, motherfucker. And you're like, why, Junko? Why did you do all of this? Well, you have these pictures. You hung out with us. You were our friend. Why did you do all of this? How did you do all of this? And she's like, no particular reason. I thought it'd be funny.
Wow, what a cool motive.
20 hours of my life were just wasted at that moment.
But Alex, how big are her booba, right?
So
how big booba?
So I paused.
This is an anime game. It's all that fucking matters. God, I hate anime.
So I asked my friends, like, okay, I paused the game, like, okay, now hang on a fucking minute. This is getting really retarded really fast. I was like I was glued to my fucking monitor, immediately like yoinked back out, like, okay. Can you repeat that for me there, Scanny? What was that again? And he's like, no, don't worry. It gets explained more in the anime. Trust me, it's a little dumb here, but it gets explained later. I'm like, when did that anime come out exactly? He's like, 2016. When did this game come out again? 2010. I'm like, oh, it was bogus. Got it. They just didn't have a fucking answer. They just had to rush it at the end. Bogus.
I'm glad that you picked up on that, Alex. You didn't fall for their bullshit.
Bogus. I went from disappointed to just angry because they ask all these questions throughout like the entire game, and they really really amp it up at the very end just to slap you in the face and just say, despair. I just felt like it.
It was funny, bros.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of funny.
No, bro, it's just a social experiment.
It's just a social experiment. But like, how did you hack the entire fucking like how did you hack every TV across the entire planet? And how did you destroy the entire world single-handedly and cause the apocalypse, Junko? I don't feel like explaining it right now. Let's just get on with the trial. I was going to turn my game off right there, Tad. I was fucking gripping my fucking armchair, just.
You were like that father talking about. That's right. I moved it to the end of the episode. He's like that father at the end of the episode, gripping his fucking beer, watching the Super Bowl.
I was livid. So you do the ending, and after that fucking ending, I had to you killed Junko, you punish her. You convict her that she was the one who actually killed Mukuro early on because she did the spears and killed her. Who, by the way, Mukuro Ikusaba is her twin sister with a different last name, but she has a tattoo on her right hand that they used makeup to cover up. But I immediately questioned, why the fuck did she cover up her fucking freckles then? What the fuck? That's the most obvious difference between them. But whatever, I'm asking stupid questions for a stupid fucking game. So, everyone's dead, 5 of you live, you all leave the fucking school, and the apocalypse has actually just straight up fucking happened. Everything sucks. Junko single-handedly destroyed the world by some unknown means, and she did it just because. So...
Wow, this is... she's so cool. She got big booba.
So... After that ending, I typed to the public Discord. I just said that was so disappointing. Holy shit! I gotta think about life for a fucking minute. Now, I couldn't find the GIF, but if you've ever seen the fucking internet GIF that I will fucking describe to you on a fucking podcast, where Wallace from Wallace and Gromit is like sitting there like all worried on his chair, like just looking like spacing out, and like looking out the window, like looking at the clock, like he's just like concerned about his entire life. That's how I felt. I was so
Alex.
let down by that ending. What's up?
You know, like imagine that like you got really invested into something, right? And it's like ramping up and it's super cool. It's like, oh man, oh shit, whoa, I'm excited. Oh god, oh Jesus, wowee. And then you wait 3 years, and then Act 7 comes out, and it just takes a big old shit in your mouth. I'm starting. I think I'm seeing your point of view here, Alex.
I mean, I can't understand, Ted. You wouldn't really get it. You wouldn't really get what it's like to be invested in something only for it to slap you in the fucking face after you wasted all your time on it. So that game made me so upset and had to just think about like life. Like unironically, I was really let down because I was feeling that game. Like after that chapter 2, I thought like, this is pretty cool. I get the setup. I see why this is so popular. I questioned and I asked multiple people, defend this game to me right now. Explain to me why you like this. And they said, no, don't worry, it gets answered in the anime. There's a key word they said about that, though, that I didn't pick up on yet. They said it would get answered. They didn't say it was a good answer. But before we get to that, we gotta talk about Danganronpa 2! I'm gonna gloss over each case, because they're all bad. They're all fucking bad and annoying. And I don't want this to be like 3 hours long. So one starts off, you're on a tropical island. That's where you're trapped on. You play as Hajime down there at the bottom of my little fucking list right there. Again, look to your list here. He's voiced by Johnny Young Bosch. Does his Adachi voice. Can't unhear it. The entire game, I just kept doing Adachi cabbage jokes. Couldn't take it seriously. It was really hard.
I definitely understood everything about what you just rambled off like a crazy man.
Adachi.
Just keep going, Alex.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, you get your whole list of characters here, and they're all their ultimate abilities. Blah, blah, blah. They all suck. The thing I praise about Danganronpa 1 is that even though all these characters have these ultimate talents, everyone here wears it like they're like the 7 dwarves. Like, it's Sleepy, the dwarf. He's sleepy. It's like, this is the ultimate cook. He likes to cook a lot. The ultimate swordswoman. She talks about sword all the time. The ultimate sports guy. He likes to shit aggressively all over the place. He just
now, Alex,
shits.
Can you explain to me what the fuck Chaika Nanami, the ultimate breeder, is? You want to explain that one?
You mean Gundam Tanaka?
Oh, the formatting on this list made me think it was Chaika.
No.
That was the guy's name.
Yeah.
I don't speak Japanese.
So Gundam
But
Tanaka.
what the fuck is the ultimate breeder do?
Animal breeding. He breeds hamsters.
Okay. Thank you.
So he's actually the best character in that whole fucking series because he's like a super like chuny guy. He talks about like anime and like dark arts and magic, like Yu-Gi-Oh. He sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh villain. He's like, behold, my dark divas of destruction. And he pulls out 4 little hamsters. Aren't they magnificent? And they're just like these cute little hamsters. In his room, you see that he has these like dark like posters and like satanic symbols, and then he has a big hamster tube set up in a rocking chair that and bedtime stories he reads to the hamsters.
Yeah.
The whole point is he comes off like a fucking idiot, but he's actually like a really nice person. But he's like the only good character in there, plus Fuyuhiko. Fuyuhiko is arguably the best character, the only one who goes through a fucking arc. The thing I want to bring out about this is that like everybody is just a fucking like just stupid 7 dwarf thing. But Kodaka, the man who wrote this entire fucking mess of a franchise, said this is his favorite cast of characters. So this game starts off with, how do I say this? Imagine going from like an anime that's like serious and then going to like a really fan servicey like panty shot anime. Like that dip in quality, right?
Oh, Alex, you mean literally every time I've tried to watch an anime where I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. And then the second I see fucking anime girl fall over, I'm like, all right, I'm done with this.
So speaking
interested.
So speaking of
Goodbye.
speaking of them falling over and showing off their Gorilla Grip pussies, notice Mikan there down at the bottom of the list. So no less than about 3 or 4 times does Mikan fall over in a fan servicey panty shot where you get to see her thick, succulent Gorilla Grip pussy that sounds like a hamster swimming in a bowl of Go-Gurt when you finger it, just sitting there every time. She's like, no, don't look at me.
It's always a good sign when an anime anything is like, we don't have enough confidence to believe that our storytelling or art or any of that is good enough. So just Here's some fucking anime titties. Is this enough to keep your dumb fucking monkey brain engaged?
And
Anime is trash, Aleks.
And then notice the first character up there, Lamau Meat, Mrs. Akane. Every time they visual novel sprites, and she gets like angry, she like goes like her, like flexes, and her shirt pops open. So I was telling my friends while I was playing this, I paused it and said, "Okay, I've noticed a massive dip in quality from this because the first game didn't have a single bit of fan service in it. Now I'm not anti-fan service, I'm not anti-titty or anything, but when you go from one thing and then like doing that is a very noticeable dip in quality. Like you just explained, it shows a lack of confidence, right?" I picked that up immediately, and I'm just like, this is gonna not be good, isn't it? This is gonna be a little weaker. So this is all the prologue, by the way. So case 1 happens, and Byakuya, who returns from the first game, who is now fat as fuck, he actually dies immediately. And I was kind of taken back by that. I thought because it's Byakuya, you know, he's back.
Byakuya, he's back. Byakuya 2.
Yeah, he gets shanked 11 times with a fucking meat skewer by Teru down there. Now I was.
Oh, so it was the chef. Okay.
Yeah, so
that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Well, it's actually set up because you don't know it's a meat skewer immediately. It's actually a pretty fun first case. It's way better than the tutorial case in the first game. I was kind of feeling it. I'm like, okay, fan service aside, this is pretty good. It goes pretty downhill after that. I was actually kind of happy that Teru dies because all Teru does is talk about cooking and fucking all the time. All he does is hit on everything that moves. Dudes and girls. He likes both. It's okay. He's equally perverted.
Hey, listen. He likes meat.
He likes meat. So, the second case, the motive of that second case, I don't even remember, the motive of the first case doesn't even fucking matter. I don't even think there was one. The motive of the second case is a video game.
The motive of the entire first fucking game isn't even existent. It's not a thing.
The motive of the second case, you go in here, video game. Oh, someone dies in a video game? Turns out someone was murdered in real life. Oh, it was Fuyuhiko's sister. So obviously, Mahiru gets fucking beat to death with a baseball bat. You think it's Fuyuhiko? No, it's actually Peko up there. Peko, turns out, is not the ultimate swordswoman. She's actually the ultimate assassin, the ultimate hitman who works for Fuyuhiko. They were just keeping that relationship a secret. So she's actually the murderer. Or is she? Is she the murderer if she was ordered by her boss to do the killing? And that's the conflict.
Yes.
That's the conflict you have to go through. Spoilers, she's still the murderer.
They're both murderers. He ordered someone to die.
Yes, but he's not the one who hit her with the bat. So
that's like saying, oh, there's two people that, like, someone gets mugged. One person hits him with a baseball bat and the other one hits him with a baseball bat. But the other one was technically the one that killed them. So the first one gets off scot-free. Here's a lollipop. Go back and keep mugging people. This is stupid. This game's pissing me off.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. It was pissing me off at this point, too. So Peko is the one who gets executed. And this fucks up Fuyuhiko, though, because Fuyuhiko really liked Peko. And he gets destroyed by this and becomes like, he goes through a character arc where he reveals like, okay, yo, what I did, I'm kind of fucked up. This was all fucked up. I'm sorry. So he tries to go up to apologize by stabbing himself with a fucking knife and trying to kill himself. But he survives, and so you all forgive him because, you know, he just bled out in front of you like that. And he kind of becomes like, he becomes your bro for the rest of the game. And also, spoilers, he gets to survive. Anyway, so you go through the whole game, more people die. And so what happens is the cases don't even fucking matter. They all suck. Everyone, it doesn't even matter. Mikan's a murderer. Who cares? Nagito sucks. Everyone loves Nagito. Nagito just shuts the... I hate him so much. Once again, I have to ask, why do people like this character? Tell me right now to your face. Tell me right now to my fucking face why you like this character and you're not just some horny fucking teenage girl. Because that's the only people I've ever seen like this fucking character. In fact, the one person who was defending this character who wasn't annoyed while I was streaming it was the girl. Was my fucking dude's, my friend's fiance who fucking loves Nagito. I just kept calling her a fucking Nagito kitty. A Nagito simp. I fucking hate this character. All he does is ruin every case, but he takes the side of the opposition every time just because he wants to fuck with you. Which admittedly is kind of funny at first.
So he's the Edgeworth function.
Basically, where it's just like, obviously it was this person. The evidence all points to it. Or does it? I don't think the evidence really fully explains this whole thing. I mean, after all, you can figure it out if it really does or doesn't. You are the ultimate hope, after all, and hope will always prevail over despair. God, I fucking love hope. How'd you make it? Can you spit in my fucking mouth? So... That's it. I just summed him up in every single case. So, eventually, everybody starts to fucking die. Blah, blah, blah. None of these cases matter. They're all way lower in quality. And all the motives suck. I hate Monokuma in this game, because Monokuma in the first game, all the motives were like, here's a thing, but you don't need it, right? Like, $10 million, I would no, that's a lot of money, but I don't need $10 million to live immediately right now. My embarrassing secret, I mean, I'm not going to die if that's revealed. My like, what's going on in the outside world? Well, I'm not going to immediately die if I don't get out there right now. You know what I mean? With this case, it's like, hey, I locked you all in one house and I didn't give you any food. If you don't start killing, you'll all literally starve to death. Like, that's bullshit. Like, you literally are like, we're all gonna die if we don't fucking do this. The motives are just straight up unfair, but it's all revealed by the twist of why they're all unfair. Now,
It's a TV show.
No, worse.
Okay, you hesitated, and that made me really nervous.
Worse. I had to think that I wanted to say closer worse. I had to think between the two words. So, here's what happens. I found out the twist of this game immediately. My friends luckily didn't just give me the answer, which was nice of them. Danganronpa fans are pretty prone to spoiler things, so I give them credit that they didn't fucking fuck with me like that. But when you start the game and you press start, it opens up with a computer screen that says, now initiating Danganronpa, and a bunch of like code flies by. And I was like,
my god, it's all a fucking video game.
I'm like, this is a simulation, isn't it? Nah, because I was thinking this was all a simulation, but my evidence was all wrong. Where I was like, I'm like, of course, the reason Nagito looks like that, he has the same kind of hair, but he has like a green jacket and he talks about hope. That this is a simulation. I thought this was Metal Gear Solid 2, where the big shell was based off Shadow Moses, so it took themes from it, but like it wasn't the exact same. So I thought, Nagito is like an error in the system. That's why he has those little bits on his coat, and he's like Makoto and Junko fused together. Of course, this all makes sense. Oh yes, this all makes sense. That's why fucking Mahiru looks just like Mukuro. Yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah, this all makes sense. Chiaki down there, of course, she says her dad, if you hang out with her like I did, because her favorite item is a $5 item in the vending machine, so she's really easy to hang out with.
She's a gamer, okay?
She mentions that her father is a very manly programmer, and that was fucking Chihiro's whole thing, is that he was a programmer who wanted to be more manly, the whole cross-dressing thing. I'm like, of course, she's just based off of them. That's why they look kind of similar, that's why they have similar poses. Of course, it's all piecing together. So eventually it's revealed that I was dead wrong. Or was
it sounds like, Aleks, they were just lazy and reused character concepts.
Yeah, so anyway, turns out Mahiru isn't Mukuro's like weird digital clone. It was just the artist same facing a little bit. But it is a simulation. So what happens is after the 5th case, you have to fucking figure out who killed Nagito. But he's set up in a way where there's no way to figure it out. But you pin it on that it was Chiaki. But Chiaki isn't a real person. Chiaki's a program. So you just deleted your only safe program keeping the whole game together. So it starts falling apart. So you wake.
What?
So the simulation was hacked by Monokuma. So
okay.
So Chiaki was like the monitor of your system to make sure everything was going smoothly. You were put into the pods to become the alt. I'll explain it in a fucking minute. But basically, now that she's dead, everything's just falling apart. So you wake up out of your room like, I can't believe it. Chiaki's fucking dead. You leave your house, Chiaki's right there, like, hey, bro, let's go hang out with everybody else in the fucking restaurant. Let's go. You're like, yeah, okay. What? And then like digital things like start like it glitches out and she disappears. So you walk into the fucking restaurant and then Fat Byakuya is back. He's like, oh, about time you showed up. And he disappears and he just dies immediately again. Terry's like, hey, everybody, I brought you some food. And he immediately disappears. Everything starts to crumble around you. You're freaking the fuck out. And everybody who's dead is alive, and everyone who's alive doesn't see it, just like you do. So you are rightfully freaked out, and I actually got jump scared by Chiaki at one point, where I left the restaurant and it did like a loud sound. She's like, "Hey!" I'm like, "Jesus!" and she immediately like glitched out and disappeared. She had this whole wall of text I couldn't read in time. I'm like, okay, so I was right. I feel fucking great. I was right, but fuck you. You scared me. So you go to.
So it's all voice acted, right?
Its main story is voice acted, but like the downtime bits, the voice acting is just kind of like Banjo-Kazooie a little bit. They look like a hey, do like a voice line, and then you just read the rest of the text.
Okay, that's actually a really neat trick to have a whole wall of text, and she glitches out and disappears before you can read it.
Yeah. So you go to Hope's Peak, which is all in ruins. You go inside there, and it's crumbling apart, but not in like the sense of like the building. Like the game is glitching out. Like the pillars disappear and turn into like wireframes. Everything's upside down. There's like data, like numbers flying around and stuff. It's actually pretty cool going back to the school, but everything's like the fucked up.
It's like the Joker bit or the Scarecrow bit in Arkham, where you get killed and it says, gamer tip, press the middle stick to avoid the poison.
Yeah, pretty much. So you go through there and you learn like, it's a simulation. This was all set up, and you learn the truth. So you're Hajime. You're not the ultimate anything. You're a nobody. You're just a regular guy who went to Hope's Peak Academy in what's called the reserve course. The reserve course is a thing that they put just regular ass untalented people they could pay to get into Hope's Peak just to say they're in Hope's Peak and get whatever job they wanted. Hope's Peak was monetizing their own fame. So you're nothing. Everyone else was normal though. But what happens is that every single one of you met up with Junko at some point, and she manipulated you into becoming evil and falling to despair. That's the way they word it. And so you all became evil, and you helped her destroy the world. She didn't do it all single-handedly. And I was like, okay, that makes a little more sense. I'm feeling this a little more now. That's a little bit of an explanation than she just did it just cuz, and she won't say how. And it all makes sense is that every single character, when you meet them, all has some kind of easily exploited thing of why they would fucking fall to despair. They all have something you can dangle in front of them. Like Akane up there just talks about eating all the time because she's from a really poor family. She's from like the slums. You got fucking Terry there who's just horny. You can just dangle fucking titties and he'll do whatever you say, right? Fucking Pekka will do whatever Fuyuhiko says. You can easily just bribe Fuyuhiko. Mikan is like super fucking like insecure and lonely and shit. Yeah. Everyone's got like something that like weighs them down. This all makes total fucking sense. And I'm feeling this actually. I kind of like this little twist, but also because I just called it, so I was just happy to be right. So you and the few people who are left alive gotta go down there and see Monokuma in the depths of like the video game programming, and you have to choose to either wake up or not. But the thing is that you don't know the whole thing. What happens is then Makoto jumps down into the program and he tells you the whole thing. He fucking digitizes himself in there. He's like, don't you fucking hit that button. Because what happens is you can either like wake up or continue the simulation. Obviously, you don't want to wake up and get out of the fucking sissy hypnopods. You don't want to fucking be here anymore. But if you do that, then Junko will win. Or will she? Who knows? Because that Makoto isn't actually the real Makoto. That's Junko copying a thing of Makoto to trick you into waking up, but not actually. So here's the thing. You're all the ultimate despair. You all helped Junko be evil. You were put into here by Makoto and all of his friends. Well, the few that lived. Called the Future Foundation, shoved you into these pods to sissy hypno you into being good. So you had all of your despair shit ripped out of your brains and put back into like your high school body, because you're all like grown ass like adults. You'll put into your high school forms before you became evil to then become good by collecting hope fragments and being friends with everybody in a fun visual novel thing. But it was hacked and then taken over so that Junko then wanted you to all kill each other. Because if you die in the game, you die for real, but your body's still alive in the real world, it's just now in a vegetative state. So while you all killing each other and dying, Junko can then upload her consciousness into the bodies, and then Junkify the entire world and spread like the fucking Sigma virus.
Aleks, all right. Oh, okay, go ahead and finish.
I was gonna say,
because this is the dumbest fucking shit I have ever heard in my entire life. I read Homestuck for a decade, okay? I know garbage, dumb shit when I see it.
So you might have remembered a picture I sent to you called No Context Spoilers for Danganronpa 2, which had 4 images of when you go past the 5G tower and the sissy hypno beams hit you, a picture of the wireframe Sigma from Mega Man X, a picture of the guy from I Divine Cybermancy calling you a freakazoid, now he's hacking into the mainframe, and then something else. I don't remember what the 4th image was. But those are all no context spoilers, because it's true, Tad, that I killed my waifu, but I am not her murderer. So you have to convince your friends to not hit the button. Now, there's actually one line that I really like, which was Fuyuhiko saying that he actually wants to hit the button and upload the consciousness because that would mean that Pekko is alive again. He doesn't care if it's Junko, he just wants to see Pekko one more time. That's actually pretty strong motivation. Everyone else was just kind of like an idiot. So you get presented a choice. Hit the button or not, right? Like revive or continue the simulation. But you can't pick either. What happens is that you just take a bunch of damage and die, and it zooms into your brain instead of gaming over, where you start freaking the fuck out. You don't know what everything's being dropped on poor Hajime here like crazy. Like he's a nobody. He's all these things. He doesn't know what the fuck is happening. And so it zooms in and you learn about his past. You see, he was part of a secret thing. This is the 7th plot reveal in the past 2 hours. So this is very long. That he's not
Jesus
actually.
Christ.
Yes, this was so front loaded, dude. It's so annoying.
Let me ask you this too. Has there been any gameplay in the past 2 hours of them dropping all these epic story moments on you?
You had to shoot you have to still debate with people about like you being dealt with despairs and shit. You have to verse it and side with Monokuma, then side with Makoto, then not side with Makoto. You keep flip-flopping. You're still shooting bullets. You're still doing that. But when it zooms into your brain after not making a decision, you reveal that there's more to you than just being the ultimate, like, the ultimate nothing. Like, you're just a student, just a regular guy. You signed up with the program at Hope's Peak as an experiment to take a regular-ass person and can we inject talent into somebody? Because here's the thing about talent. In the first game, you're just a talented individual. In the
They're
second,
metachlorians.
in the second game onwards, they're superpowers.
Oh my god.
So when you're the ultimate gamer, you're literally the greatest video game player in the planet. You can do anything. You can pick up any game and get like the high score, like fucking speedrun strat immediately, right? You're literally the best.
How does the world's greatest traditional dancer work then? Because that's a subjective thing. Is she just the best at dancing all the time, always, for anything? Or is it just like a very specific Japanese dance?
Ted, have you ever watched Pawn Stars, right? You know how like he always gets a really oddly specific guy for every single thing? I'm the ultimate Vietnamese voodoo puppet expert. That's basically what Danganronpa is. So anyway, they injected you with, they put you in a sister hypnopod, a different pod, and injected your brain with talent. They made you.
Wait, hold on a second. Then what is the fucking rich guy then?
Oh,
what?
Byakuya up there?
He's just, my talent is that my parents are rich?
Ted, that's not Byakuya. Why'd you think that was Byakuya? Byakuya isn't fat. What are you, stupid? That's the ultimate imposter. His talent is he can perfectly disguise as anybody, and no matter what.
Oh, but he's still fat.
But the joke is like, but wait, why is he so much fatter? And Nagito, and I thought this line was really funny. He's like, what does that matter what his body weight is? You believed him, didn't you? And I was like, okay, fine, fuck you, you got me. I did think that was Byakuya. Because he's voiced by the same actor. He does all the exact same poses and everything. I thought that was actually kind of clever. So his thing is, no matter what, he's talented. It's his superpower. He can perfectly disguise as anybody. Doesn't matter how fat he is. He's the spitting image of you. That's kind of funny. I liked that. So anyway. So in the past, you were injected with talent. So you are the ultimate genius, or as it's called, the ultimate. You have literally all superpowers. And
so it's the fucking anime Avengers?
You are Super
Aleks,
Skrull.
I am so fucking confused right now.
I was
okay. I thought 999 was confusing, where you had people's consciousness being sent to the Titanic and then like put into brain antennas. And
this is what I was talking
go
about.
Ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I
sure.
hated this setup because I liked it better when it's like, oh, I'm the ultimate novelist, so I got into a prestigious school, but that's not my entire character. And this thing, this is my superpower, and this is just all I do. I'm just the ultimate X. That's it. That's all I am.
Aleks, remember, people who enjoy anime, well, you know what they're like, and people who are of that sort of kind of mental capacity tend to like things that are in specific categories that can fit. This thing does that thing and this does that thing. I think if you read between the lines, you know exactly what I'm calling them.
Yes, but I won't say it because I don't want to get put on BitChute. Anyway, so your secret double name was like Izuru something in Japanese. Izuru he had long anime hair and glowing red eyes. He was all evil. He had every power, and he fell into despair and murdered 13 people.
Jesus Christ!
So you are unknowingly
this is the dumbest fucking game.
So you are unknowingly
I have ever heard.
You are unknowingly. You are unknowingly Super Skrull plus a fucking serial killer plus the entire hope of the world all at the exact same time. Hajime, when he hears this, perfectly represents the player, and he says, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So
this sounds like. Okay, this sounds like what happens when it's like, okay, you know, you're working in an anime studio, right? And it's shutting down at the end of the month. You got one last thing. You take all of your fucking scripts and you just mash them together at the end of this bullshit, dumb anime game you're churning out.
I'm not even at the worst part though, Ted. There's still a few more.
What?
So
Super Thanos, fucking Super Skrull. You're the ultimate God King bullshit. You have every power, like it's fucking my Hero Macadamia nuts. This is I hate it. I hate anime so much. I hate this.
So
I hate how many people this was their favorite game. All of them? Yeah, that sounds about right.
So inside your mind, Chiaki shows up. Not actually dead, because remember, she's a fucking video game character. She's not really dead. You can't delete her forever. She's like, listen, you can't just pick between hope and despair all the time. You have to choose the secret third option. The future. You're like, that's bullshit. That doesn't make any sense. Why the I murdered 13 people. I'm freaking the fuck out here. Whoosh, it zooms in deeper into your mind. Now you have a new trial where it's all of like your shadow clones, all the different Izurus, and then like one Chiaki. They're like, they betrayed me. They lied to me. They made me a monster. Oh my fucking god, I'm a murderer. This is all bullshit. And my entire life is a lie. And then you had to say what Chiaki says and say about the future. And then you had to shoot down each one of your shadow selves in the fucking face. Which admittedly, I thought that was kind of fun. Where it's like, they betrayed me, bang, even so. And it's like, but they lied to me, bang, you shoot that one dead, even so. Like, they all, like, everything was a bullshit, and just bang, even so. And then like, whoosh, it zooms all the way back out of like your 10 different like inner monologues. You break out, you go straight up Super Saiyan. Your hair glows, you have Super Saiyan 2 lightning around you, your little reticle eyes turn, shine red, and like, I won't give up on the future. All right, everybody, let's shut this video game down. Like, what the fuck? You went Super Saiyan. That's fucking right, I did. Fuck hope. You shoot Makoto in the face. Fuck despair. You shoot her in the face. We have a future that we're not giving up. So then you and
Aleks,
Chiaki
my
show
head
up.
is in my fucking hands. This is the worst. I think this may literally be the worst story that you have ever told me.
But then, Tad, it gets better. Chiaki shows up and you do a father-son Kamehameha with your waifu and blast Junko in the face with it, and thus killing Junko's digital self, who was a giantess. I should probably point that part out too. You murder her in the video game, thus killing her for real, and then you hit the fucking button and waking up for real. Will you keep your memories? Will you not? You just have to look up for a brightful, hopeful future. Spoilers, you do. And also, everyone who died gets to live, and nothing mattered. Everyone's okay, except for Chiaki. She's actually dead, because she was a video game character.
Jesus Christ. This sounds like the messiest. Okay. How many of your quote-unquote friends thought that this was their favorite of the series?
They actually say that V3 is their favorite of the series. Generally speaking, it's actually kind of agreed upon that that number 2 is kind of the weakest. So I actually, outside of Nagito, it was basically outside of 1, everyone kind of agreed with me that it was kind of dumb, but they still liked it. It was in one of those, it was still fun kind of situations, right?
How do you go from, like, a whodunit mystery murder to, well, I guess I know why. It's because it's like an anime game, and I guess shonen anime is the only kind of anime in existence, so everything has to turn into that.
So that's the fucked up thing, is that I had the exact same reaction where I was like, how do you go from, from Anime Clue to me going Super Saiyan and blasting Junko with a father-son Kamehameha with my ghost waifu? Like, that was a pretty big shark to jump, right? I told you this. You had your reaction where I said, imagine going from Dragon Ball Classic and the next episode was immediately a Dragon Ball Super episode. Unfortunately, Tad.
What? God. What I wonder if the first game did so well that they, like, the studio demanded that he make the second one, like, okay, one of two things probably happened. One, the higher ups demanded that it be more like a Shonen Jump anime where it's like JoJo superpower, Dragon Ball Z, I have to get stronger bullshit. Or two, it's a Kojima situation where in the first one the editors were like, hey, maybe don't do that. And then the game turned out better because of it.
See, I couldn't...
And then this time they went, just do whatever the fuck you want. And then you got Super Saiyan. I
know what kind of happened, actually. You're on the right track. Basically, there were different people. Like, Kodaka was on every project, of course. He's like the lead. He's, Mr. Danganronpa. But the very first game was the backup plan of a different idea called Distrust, where they were going to make this really, really ambitious visual novel for the classic PSP, which was 16 students are in a battle royale situation, but you can befriend and hang out with anybody, but any of them can become a murderer, and you have to either defend or go against your best friends. So say, like, I'm hanging out with Leon. It was all the same characters. They had different names, but they're all the same fucking functions. Say I'm hanging out with Leon, I'm like, yo, hey, what's up, bro? And I befriend him. He then becomes my Maya function for the entire game. But what if he still kills somebody? I now have to either defend him or throw him under the bus. So it's actually a really, really cool setup, But as you're probably thinking, trying to count for all 16 variables, like all happening, for every single thing was way too ambitious. There's no way they could have made that game. So they took all those ideas and trimmed the ambition down a little bit, and then made the first Danganronpa. That's why that one's a little more like level-headed. Outside until the very ending, of course. But like that's why it was built on a more concise,
a stable more stable, doable groundwork.
Yes.
Have you ever I know that you haven't played it, but did you ever watch like a YouTube playthrough of that Detroit Become Human game?
I saw some scenes of it. I didn't watch the whole game.
That's the closest I've ever seen a game do that. The amount of variance in how that game plays out is actually very like high. Detroit Become Human, you hop around, but there's like 5 characters. There's a mother who runs away with a robot daughter. There's like there is Special Agent Dale Robot Cooper.
I remember him, yeah.
And then there's like an old man, and then there's like there's someone else, but the options that you choose in there actually do impact the other ones, and that's all voice acted, and like certain characters will act certain ways and stuff. Sometimes it's just as simple as like a dialogue thing here or there, or like a character hesitates before doing the rest of the things. But that's the I had this problem with Octopath Traveler, where I was like, oh, it's 8 party members and you can mix and match them and then they all have things. Yeah, it turns out in reality, there's like one main party. And if you don't have that main party, nothing you do matters. The 8 characters don't interact with each other or anything. They just exist.
Yeah, there's only so much you can feasibly program like in a video game, So, unfortunately, Tad, the story doesn't end here. As much as I hated that, now, I didn't like the story of the ending, story of 2, but I had fun with the gameplay of the ending. I got into the idea of, okay, if you want to go Super Saiyan and do a Team Kamehameha, if you want to do it, like, shooting my shadow clones in the face was kind of fun. Like, if you wanted to go in this direction, I can deal with it. But then what if I told you they didn't want to go in that direction? They changed their mind again, and whoosh, you get total whiplash one more time. So, enter Ultra Despair Girls. Now, I just watched all the cutscenes of this, so, and the bosses and shit. So I didn't play this one, because again, like I said at the start, nobody wanted me to play this game. This game is somehow the goofiest, confused, and most darkest game in the entire fucking series at the exact same time. So the story of this is that this actually takes place in the outside world for once, which is kind of interesting to see what's actually going on, the war between hope and despair. By the way, you're probably wondering what the fuck that means. What does it mean by hope and despair? What does it mean by good and bad? What does it mean by kick and cringe? That is the most explanation. I just explained it to you, Tad. That's it. They never say what that even fucking means. What does it mean to fall into despair? What does it even mean to be hope? What does that mean? They're just saying good and bad like children, right? So that's how I see it. I see it just saying, what was that scene from Wreck-It Ralph? Where it's like I'm bad and that's good. I'll never be good and that's not bad. There's nobody I'd rather be than me. That's basically Danganronpa. So that's the overarching plot of Hope and Despair. So anyway, in Ultra Despair Girls, you play as Makoto, Makoto's sister. She gets rescued. She's trapped in a building that gets rescued by Byakuya and the Future Foundation and given a megaphone gun to shoot and control robots with. She also meets up with Toko, who's alive still from the first game, who now has a different hairdo where it's all like messy and shit. So Makoto's sister and Toko have to go through the entire fucking like city, meet a bunch of side characters who all die immediately, who are like related to the first game that don't fucking matter, and fight a bunch of robots controlled by a bunch of evil kids that all fell to despair. These evil kids were convinced by Junko that adults were cringe, so then they became cringe, and so they want to make the whole world cringe. And so you just gotta beat the shit out of him, just kick him in the fucking, Wo Shambo every one of these kids. And the reason I say this is so dark, though, is that you're going through this relatively stupid fucking story where it has a bunch of stupid jokes. Like, speaking of stupid jokes, let me explain one for instance. You meet up with this guy. I have to talk about this line. There's this part where you're hanging out with this man named Toa. He brings you like this secluded area, and Toa goes like, "Did you lure up me and her all alone here just so you can have your way with us? Well, go ahead. I won't resist." Which is already a weird line. But then he says, "What? No, that's disgusting. I would never do it to someone like you. I'm interested in girls who are much younger. In fact, as young as possible." He just casually drops that he's a pedophile, which is like really funny. But also really
Just
stupid.
like, oh, okay, that's fine then, I guess.
Oh, understandable. Have a miserable life. So, have a happy despair. So,
Ugh.
every one of the kids has some dramatic past, and there's one that's just like super fucking dark. Like all the writing up till now has been kind of like goofy and or just stupid like that. And then Kodako shows up. Her horrible thing is that she wants to be an actress, so her parents would whore her out to producers so she'd get good roles. But she's like 10, so they just drop like child rape on you, and it's
That's
just like
cool. Wow, this game's so, you know, I'm starting to see, I'm starting to formulate the type of person that would be super into Danganronpa, Aleks. Can I ask you a few questions real quick, Aleks?
Hey.
Just to question some things.
I'll have you know that I didn't play this one, so I'm actually scot-free on this. Thank you. So anyway,
Okay, good. That's
so anyway, so it just drops like a really dark fucking thing. And then it goes back to being written like really silly and stupid, where I'm just like, what huh? And so that moment, I hang on to that moment because that's the dark. It's pretty much the darkest you can fucking get with like any like plot reveal, really, right? I can't really think of anything darker than just saying, oh yeah, this child was just raped multiple fucking times and they've become a psychopath because of it. I can't really like that's literally the plot of Berserk, so I can't really think of anything else to really be darker. So anyway. That whole game ends, doesn't matter, none of it matters. Toko's there, it's side bullshit. It's literally a spin-off game. Then you go to Danganronpa 3. Now, Tad, did you think Danganronpa V3 was the third game? You're retarded. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. We're gonna go to BitChute. You're mentally impaired, Tad.
I'm like a Danganronpa enjoyer.
Danganronpa 3 is an anime, but it's also the third entry of the series, which is actually the fourth entry of the series. Don't ask questions, just consume product. So, this is actually where you were right about something. Kodaka didn't want to continue the series anymore. He thought the series was pretty much tapped out after doing the father-son Kamehameha and making a fucking third-person shooter. But fans wouldn't leave him alone. Have you ever met a man named Andrew Hussey? Have you ever... Now, can you imagine what his inbox looked like at any point in time?
Yes, I did send him an email once calling him a homo.
Yeah, so that's what Kodaka's email was like every single time. Of fans constantly bitching and moaning about every single thing, every single ship they wanted and didn't get, every single fucking like romance bullshit, every single horny thing, every single complaint, every single slightly annoying thing you can think of. Oh yeah, he's read it. He's gotten it. So he formed a massive distaste for the series and his fans in general, just wanted to be away from the whole. So the studio came up and put a gun to his fucking head and told him that he has to make the third entry. Well, he didn't want to make a video game. They're like, what about an anime? And he's like, ugh, fine. So he's going to make this thing called Danganronpa 3, the animated series. Like, it's called Future.
Danganronpa 3, Shipwrecked.
Danganronpa 3, it's called The Future, right? It's called Mirai Setsudan Guru Gimaguki. It's Japanese. It's future, right? The future. And they are like, well, hold on a minute. That might not be good enough. And he's like, I don't want to make another fucking anime. He's like, dude, come on, you gotta fucking make a fucking another anime. And he's like, ugh. So instead of making one anime called Danganronpa 3, he makes two that aired at the exact same time that have the exact the one continuous plot split up upon one episode each across 24 episodes. Now, if that's kind of cool, but it's also kind of confusing trying to watch it all at once because you have to watch one of one and then one of the other and then one of the other and then one of the other. You have to go kind of back and forth.
That is an interesting way to do it. Now, were they on the same... I assume this was airing on television at the time. Did they air on different networks?
They aired at the same network. It would be like... So, it'd be 1 week. It'd be the Future episode 1. Week 2. What was it called? It was fucking... Not Past. Despair. That's it. Zetsuban. Despair episode 1. Next week. Future episode 2. Next episode would be, Despair episode 2. You know what I mean? It would go back to back to back. That's how the story is told. So, and that's an anime thing where instead of getting 12 episodes, you get 24, like 23 or 24. It actually happened with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the part one. Because with part one, is that part one was so short, they couldn't make it 13 episodes. So they said, hey, give us a little more. We'll just make part one and part two at the exact same time. And they just aired it all at once. It's a thing. It's called like a season and a half or something over there. It's like this whole anime thing. I'm not a big anime nerd, despite this entire like hour and a half long episode. I'm not actually a weeaboo. But anyway, Danganronpa 3 was critically panned by basically everybody when it came out. Now, here's kind of what happens. It's two different story arcs, but they're kind of going at the same time. Future is Makoto and Aoi and Kyoko go meet the Future Foundation. They're in big trouble because in the second game, he helped Ultimate Despair by trying to sissy hypno them into being good, right? But they're mad that he didn't just immediately murder them for also destroying the world. Which, to be fair, the apocalypse literally happened and it was their fault. Try to just say that they can all become, good friends again is kind of bullshit. Everyone was rightfully mad at him. I actually understand exactly why they're all pissed off at him.
Girls be like, I accidentally caused the apocalypse. Guess I'm a Pisces.
So...
It's my favorite Tumblr meme.
But
I did not use Tumblr for a long time, but every time I saw that, it made me smile.
And the Despair episodes is all the backstory of the cast from Danganronpa 2. My favorite set of characters. So, in Future, Makoto meets a bunch of new characters that don't matter, and he gets put into another killing game because the entire building gets hacked, destroyed, and all the doors are locked, and they have to all kill each other now. There's one traitor amongst them. All right, have fun. So everyone immediately thinks it's Makoto and tries to kill him. But they're all given a special wristband that will inject poison into their veins if they break one action. Everyone has a different one, right? It's all weird things, like it's turn right, run in the halls, say a lie, eat candy, shit like that. It's all weird shit. So a guy just tries to fucking clock Makoto right in the fucking face. And what happens is this one guy goes behind him, he's like, what did you do? That like, what's wrong? And his thing was witness violence. So the poison just fucking kills him. So no one immediately dies. They're like, oh shit. So everyone starts killing each other, and you learn just how stupid the plot of Danganronpa really is. Because there's this guy who looks like the protagonist from Persona 4, and his name is Munakata. He's like, how dare you, Makoto? How dare you think that hope can be found within despair? Only despair can be found within hope, which is not true. Like, that's bullshit. Keck and cringe can coincide and all that fucking bullshit. Like, no, Makoto, he pulls out his gun sword and cocks it. Just, you fall into despair. No, I'm still hope. If you think that hope is by destroying everyone else, then you've truly fallen into despair. I'm not despair, you're despair. No, bitch, you. And then
Jesus Christ, it's like a fucking Yu Yu Hakusho episode.
So
you know what? Okay, you know what this is? This is the same level of engaging storytelling as watching fucking Kamen Rider. Or watching fucking Ultraman.
Fuck yeah, this is an episode of Power Rangers that also just has murder and rape in it, because why the fuck not?
No, dude, it has rape in it because it's like cool and it's for adults and it's kind of badass.
And this is, and the anime was where I kept making that connection where I'm just like, okay, this is like really fucking weird. This is total whiplash, right? Because they're super dark, and then the next episode would be in despair, and the backstory, which would be super happy fun times learning the backstories of all of my favorite characters hanging out in high school together. Also, Chiaki's alive. She's a real person. Huh? That's weird. So you figure out. What happens is that you were told that Junko manipulated everybody and caused the big riot that ended up destroying the entire world by making everybody fall into despair. She had the reserve corps students, aka the normies, rise up against the fucking talented oppressors. She convinced Izuru to kill those 13 people, and she got to each one of the guys in number 2, again, see the number 2 list, except for Chiaki, because she was, not real, to fall into despair. What if I tell you that was all bullshit and they decided to change their mind on that?
See, this is very similar to how Andrew Hussey told Homestuck, where he had his retroactive foreshadowing, where he just dropped a bunch of bullshit and then went back 600 pages later and went, actually, that was referencing this thing. And it's like, no, you just left a breadcrumb trail that you could go back to and change things. But in this one, it was just, this story fucking blows. Let me come up with a justification for this.
Yeah, so it was in the Despair arc, which was the backstory arc,
my goodness,
that I started learning that it wasn't that everything was like just dumb and like anime bullshit. Because again, I could deal with the superhero thing if you're gonna go that route and you know own up to it. I can accept it. It's they keep changing their mind doing this tonal whiplash thing. I was under the assumption that going from like the spooky evil like murder mystery of of future and then going to the happy fun times of despair that I was convinced they didn't know what they wanted to do with Danganronpa. After the first game, I don't think they had any plans. They were just kind of winging it. And then I started forming a new opinion once this reveal happened. It turns out there was a guy called the Ultimate Animator. Now, he was actually missing from school because the Ultimate Imposter was just disguised as him going to school as the Ultimate Animator.
Well, okay.
The Ultimate Animator, he can create really good and beautiful anime. And so Junko finds him. Junko's whole bit is, how do I describe this? Have you ever heard of this? There's this, okay. Now, you don't read a lot of comics, right?
No, I actually have some kind of... Just kidding. I was going to say I have some kind of taste, but I read Homestuck for 10 years. The only comic book I actively read is the Rick and Morty comic book.
Dude, fuck. Do you like Dota 2?
Actually, I'm a big fan of Danganronpa.
Do you know that it had a child rape scene in it? It's... Oh my god.
Dude, it was so fucking epic.
Remember it? Do you know that scene had a child orgy? Oh, that's fucking crazy. Have you heard of Danganronpa? Anyway, sorry, I triggered myself.
Okay, you know what Danganronpa is? You know what the mindset they're playing with is? They're playing with the fucking Family Guy mindset, okay? Do you know what the difference in American cartoons between a normal cartoon and an adult cartoon is? It's that the adult cartoon says fuck, and they swear, and they do bad things, and they also are horribly ugly, and they aren't animated well.
Okay, so... Anyway, I was getting...
You remember that episode of The Simpsons from the newer seasons where Wiggum drops Ralph on his head and he's like a normal baby, he just drops him on the head and then he starts acting slow and he can't pick things up? Isn't that really funny? That's like Danganronpa. You know, it's so cool because it's such like a dark joke. You wouldn't understand my kind of dark sense of humor, Alex.
So anyway.
You know what? I think this plate needs a little bit more sodium chloride. I'm an INTJ, by the way.
Yeah, Tad. I have some basic comic book knowledge. Now, there's this...
The anti-Flash, that's all you need to know.
The reverse Flash. So, there's this one character from DC Comics. He's like not super well known, like all the big wigs like Superman and Batman. You might not have heard of him. He's called the Joker. So the Joker has this really complex backstory that no one really understands, so they just rewrite it every time. So there's this character in Danganronpa called Junko Inashima, who has this really complex superpower that they just rewrite every single time. So Junko is the ultimate fashionista, which is also the ultimate gari, which is like some Japanese... I don't fucking know Japanese, okay? I don't watch anime, fuck you.
It's probably some kind of racist thing.
It's some fashion
You know
thing.
how Japan is.
She's not also the ultimate despair. So remember, Junko destroyed the whole world because she just felt like it. She's just despair, and she just loves despair. It gets her off. What does that mean? Who cares? Who cares? Child rape. Who
just
cares?
fucking buy the anime, dude. Stop asking so many fucking questions. Just look at the booba. So this Chaika's got them fucking Chaika milkers,
so
dude.
This doubles...
Buy the anime.
So the anime backstory doubles down on her literally being the Joker, and it also fleshes out her sister Mukuro more, because Mukuro basically just dies, and then she's a plot device for Chapter 3. She doesn't really do anything. And so Mukuro is the ultimate soldier. So it shows Junko and her
Well,
writing...
if she's the ultimate soldier, why'd she fucking die?
Because she didn't expect her own sister to just murder her. She thought she would be exempt from the rules.
It doesn't sound like she's the ultimate soldier, then.
She's not the ultimate genius, after all. But anyway, so... They're in a limo together, and Junko is constantly just trying to murder Mukuro at every single moment, because if she were to just spontaneously kill her sister for no reason, that would fill her with despair, which would get her horny. So this is the writing quality that Junko is.
God.
So there's this little animation that I actually kind of like. It was at least decently like looking, where like she's trying to constantly stab her with a fucking like knife, but Mukuro's the ultimate soldier. She's just like blocking every single like strike. So they're explaining their like plot of their plan while she's constantly trying to stab her. She like rolls out of the way, throws a grenade at her. Mukuro picks up the grenade and tosses it out the window and just kills somebody who drove over the grenade. Which it was a decent little scene to like make it not just a talking head scene, but it amplifies the idea of, remember when this was a fucking murder mystery? Like, where is this going right now? So Mukuro, It's revealed that Mukuro is not just the ultimate soldier. She's also like really into like getting beat up and horny for her own sister, which was like really
Jesus
weird.
Christ.
Which was like really weird, and I didn't like that. Why she was like a weird incestuous like lesbian who was also like
fucking Jesus Christ. This is Tad's reasons he doesn't watch anime. This is checking every single box.
So they go to school. Their idea to their initial idea is to go to school and just ruin it and just cause a bunch of despair at the pinnacle of all hope. That's their plan. But she runs into the anime guy and she's like, "Whoa, you look like a plot device. Follow me." So it turns out that the animator's talent isn't actually that he's the ultimate animator. In fact, he's pretty much just a pretty subpar animator. It's that he's the ultimate, how do I say this, compilation maker, ultimate like video creator.
He's the ultimate K-pop fan cam maker on Twitter.
So basically, Ted, you're onto something there. It's not that he's the ultimate K-pop fan cammer, but he's the ultimate. I never really specifies, but what he does is that when he makes a video, it fills you full of emotion for like a specific thing. So whatever he's going for. So he shows Mukuro and Junko his little anime project, which is like this really sob story anime, and it causes both of them to just cry their fucking eyes out. It's so beautiful. But that's it. It wasn't that the anime was really good. It's just that that's his power. Is that he literally just hypnotizes you into liking whatever he's putting out. So her idea is, I want you to make a cringe compilation and make the entire world feel cringe. So Junko organizes the very first killing game by going to a bunch of the previous students and forcing them to all kill each other, and then pinning it on the new secret project that they unearthed called Izuru. So they break into a secret underground lab. These two 16-year-old girls murder all of the guards. Somehow don't get caught by that. Find Izuru and say, "Hey, you should become despair." He says, "No, fuck off. That's stupid." Like, yeah, but it's because it's stupid. That's why it's so interesting. He's like, "The fuck are you talking about, you crazy fucking bitch?" And he,
damn, count me in.
Don't you understand? You have a super analytical mind like me, because I'm not just the ultimate fashionista. I'm not the ultimate despair. I'm also the ultimate analytical mind. I have like chameleon eyes. I can like read shit really well, and because of this, I'm always 10 steps ahead of everybody.
I hate anime.
And because of
I hate anime.
And because of this, I'm so bored with living. So by causing despair randomly, like just attacking people at random, I make life more interesting. Doesn't that sound more interesting? She's like, "That's fucking retarded. Get the fuck out of here." So she causes the murder, and he comes out of his weird little like bunker and watches it happen, and it's a pretty actually. I don't want to say a good scene, but it's definitely a standout scene. It is the massacre of the fucking school council or whatever, where they force them to basically battle royale, murder all of each other, and some of them are pretty graphic. Like, the one guy stabs two people together and then like beats the fucking like spear through them with a shovel. One guy that just chainsawed the fuck up. Like, it's actually pretty graphic. But once again, it makes me think of the whole tonal whiplash thing. 2 episodes ago, we were having happy anime fun times and a murder mystery. Now we're just getting like really gory. This feels like a battle royale ripoff than Danganronpa. I remember when this was a detective game? Haha, child rape. Everything, like, I'm just getting hit with all this shit.
This is another come to Jesus moment, or as I call it, a Homestuck moment. At a certain point, the majority shifts from being, for Danganronpa, like a whodunit Phoenix Wright mystery murder to the worst fucking anime on the planet. Same with how Homestuck went from Homestuck, and then it turned into like teenage drama, and at a certain point teenage drama became 51%. It became the majority.
Well, the thing is that that's pretty much like, after Danganronpa's one shitty ending, like even Danganronpa 2 was still like a murder mystery. It was just, the plot revealed the whole the anime video game thing. It's specifically with Danganronpa 3 is when this happens, is when they just say fuck it. It's all just murder porn now. It's all just really shitty face level drama and gore.
It's fucking Anime Hostel, where people just want to watch anime characters get killed, but it's like a cool adult anime because they say fuck, and this child is horrid out. You don't get it. It's like watching fucking Made in Abyss, where it just makes me uncomfortable.
I don't know what that is, but I'll take your word for it. The reason I hate this setup though is, outside of the fact that the tonal whiplash thing, I've said that like 100 times now, but aside of that, is what the anime is now doing is setting it up where, remember in episode 2, video game 2, is that Izuru killed 13 people. Well, now he didn't. They changed their mind. These people all killed each other, and the only one that Izuru actually interacted with was one of them, because Izuru was just spectating the whole thing. One of them tried to attack him with a chainsaw. He knocked the guy back, which then made him hit the wall and fall down on his own chainsaw and get fucking brutally fucking cut up. So Izuru only ever attacked one person in self-defense. They now make Hajime fucking guilt-free in what he did. And I didn't like that. Because part of the fun of the reveal too was that, oh fuck, not only am I this crazy motherfucker, I'm literally a murderer. That's part of what fucked him up and made him like, zoom 10 times into his own mind, So it completely ruins that. And then finally, what really affects the entire story, and this is why so many people pan the entire anime, is it literally ruined the entire plot of the first 2 fucking games. It was no longer that Junko went and, Joker told everybody to rise up and, against the fucking talented and all that shit. It's not that she actually caused anybody despair. She just made that anime guy make a cringe compilation, which hypnotizes you into feeling despair. Because remember, whatever emotion he makes the video make you feel it.
So he just made a fucking AMV video of like I don't know, Danganronpa, the anime, that just makes you sad to watch it, and then everyone's like, "Damn, bro, wow."
They filmed the massacre. That's what they did.
But the massacre wasn't what made you sad. It was that guy wanting to make. God,
yes,
I hate this.
He literally
so
could have
much.
put like just JPEGs of things sliding by, and it would have made you feel something. That's just remember, it's your superpower now.
It could have been a fucking Motendo video, like the guy ripping his pants off.
Yeah, that's it. And then it would have made you say, "Oh well, if you watch this video, you will
time to commit domestic terrorism."
Pretty much. And I already hated the whole thing where it's just like, oh, whoops, some fucking teenage girl tweeted that I'm cringe, time to nuke planet Earth, right? I already thought that was stupid, but now that's literally the plot. The plot is, oh, whoops, watched a live leak video. Guess that's it. That world's over. Time to just hit the nukes. Boop. Just everyone dies. That's it. That's the plot. And not just me. A bunch of people all thought that was retarded. Remember what they told me before? They said it would be answered in the anime. They never said it was going to be a good one. And then finally, the next thing they ruin in the anime is the ultimate despair, aka the cast from 2. Remember how I said they were all manipulated and following Junko? What if I were to tell you they were just mind controlled into doing it? And so now all of the entire
such a fucking cop out.
So yeah, they're good people. So all the thousands of people they all personally killed, especially Fuyuhiko, he personally killed a lot of people. Nah, there's all mind control. It's okay. So
now Aleks, it's okay to like those characters, and they're more marketable now because they're good guys.
And the way they make it, because they can't just hypnotize the cast normally, they have to make the cringiest compilation. So they get Chiaki and put her through a saw death trap. And she gets fucked up in the Saw Death Trap. Like, she steps on she has to go through this labyrinth, and she steps on a panel, a fucking spike comes out and stabs right through her fucking foot, through it. A fucking, iron ball comes by and hits her in the fucking head, and she starts bleeding out of her eye. She gets
and then
shot
her
with an hour.
her and SpongeBob have to move a couch out of the living room.
Yeah. But yeah, she gets fucked up and then murdered to shit. So, Izuru sees, listen, he gets kind of fucked up after seeing, just this fucking young gamer girl get fucking brutally murdered. Fuck Chiaki in particular. She gets fucked up, dude.
So what you're saying is the oppression of gamers is what caused the apocalypse.
Now, it feels like the writers had a vendetta against that character because she gets fucked. But anyway, and yes, you're completely right. So after seeing the person they love the most get brutally murdered, they all fall into despair and they all become evil and they all start destroying the world. And then it cuts back to the main plot. Then there's the whole backstory. So back in the main world, in the present, everyone's killing each other because there's stupid lists and whatever. None of it matters. None of these characters matter because it's not like these characters. It's not like, hey, I'm gonna be in this episode. Oh shit, I'm dead. It's the bit from fucking Heavy is Dead. Just I'm dead, and just drops down with critical shit. So it's revealed in a really stupid fucking thing that the reason...
Is it all going to be a fucking dream again?
No, not pulling that one for once. Everyone is actually dead.
Because they did pull that already.
not pulling, it's a simulation. Everyone is actually dying. But there's one thing I noticed. None of the characters from 1 have died yet. So only the anime-only characters have died so far. Spoilers, nobody from the game dies. There's no tension. Because these characters exist for like 30 seconds and just get like fucking shanked, right? So what happens is that... Okay, so Munakata, the leader who looks like Persona 4 protag, he has this right-hand man who's the ultimate boxer. And then he had this wife who's like the ultimate like fucking homeroom teacher. So...
Well, if it's his right-hand man, he would be the ultimate right and left hands. Thank you.
Oh, you're funny. Oh, you're funny, man. Well, just your cat back in here. So, turns out the guy's wife, the leader's wife, actually fell to despair in the backstory episodes by getting literally brainwashed with like things jabbed into her fucking head, and she's been evil this whole time. And
yeah, of course she's been.
She gave the Sissy Hypno video to the headmaster, who never really watched it, but recently watched it. Now that he fell into despair, set up the killing game himself and made all of his friends kill each other. Just cuz, lol. And also, they reveal one of the weirdest plot points I think I've ever had. So the right-hand man guy actually found out Junko was the this evil person back in the past and was going to stop her. And she stops him by blackmailing him because, and I'm dead serious, this is the plot, his name is Juzo or something. Juzo is a homosexual, and she will reveal to everyone in the world that he's gay. So he doesn't do it. So he doesn't reveal that she's going to destroy the world. So the entire world is destroyed. It cuts to like a scene where like it's the three of them, the three buddies, like on this burning rubble. He's looking out like the destruction, and I paused me and just said, "Man, if only you came out of the closet, none of this would have happened. You fucking idiot."
I assume the anime takes place in modern times.
Yeah, it does.
So, I don't know. Maybe the Japanese, because he's the best boxer in the world, and he's living in Japan.
I think it actually is still illegal to be homosexual in Japan. I think that there actually is like still a thing against that there.
Damn, bro, they're fucking based.
I think, I don't, again, I'm not a weeaboo, I don't know. Someone in the comments will mention that, but I know being gay is actually like way worse there than it is like say over here in the States. So there is like in 2016. There is some logic to it until you realize that this is after she already has the hypnotized army. So, like, you couldn't take one for the team. Even if you were to go to jail for it, you wouldn't take one for the team to save the world. Yeah, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't just say you like dick. So, like, on one hand, I was like, well, shit, they actually wrote a gay character. But man, is this plot stupid.
Wait, how would she even, like, reveal it to the world, I guess, through the sissy hypno beams? This guy is gay?
She has pictures of him doing gay shit.
Whatever, you just say it was for a movie. Who's gonna believe this fucking Joker anime girl? Who would even care? I hate Danganronpa so much. How? I hate it.
So anyway. After all this happens and everybody's dying in the real world, Kyoko had a thing where it was like, after like the fourth like killing, if Makoto is still alive, she'll get poisoned. So the poison hits her and she fucking dies. And Kyoko is like Makoto's like actual like waifu, like they're actually together after the first game, and so he's actually fucked up by that, and he almost falls to despair or whatever. And they find out what actually is happening. So what's happening is that there isn't actually a murderer, there isn't a traitor. What it is that all across the inside of the base are TV monitors, and when you all get knocked out by the sissy hypno gas, I refer to every single thing as sissy hypno, by the way, you get knocked out by the gas, whoever is closest to the monitor will wake up and watch a sissy hypno video and become the attacker and kill themselves, because it fills them with suicidal thoughts, because that's what the video makes you do. Because remember, the Ultimate Animator's thing is, whatever you feel from whatever he wants you to feel, you just feel it. So there was never a murder. Everyone's just collectively committing suicide, like every single time they get knocked out, like every 2 hours, I think it is.
This is the fucking laziest. You know what You know what this is? This is fucking season 32 of The Simpsons. That's how lazy this is.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people
this
felt.
Person, they just wake up. I don't know how they wake up, but they just wake up next to this TV, and then they commit suicide / murder on this person, and there you go. Oh my! This is the most. I could just imagine the disappointment, like the sky, like you start, you're like, oh, this is great. You got a smile, and it slowly turns into like a neutral expression, and then a frown, and then a scowl.
Yeah, pretty much. So they test this theory by tying Makoto up so he can't kill himself and putting him like right next to a TV while they all get knocked out. And you see what it's like. You watch a reused clip from the game, which is Monokuma Theater, that just tells you, hey, buddy, you should fucking kill yourself. It'd be pretty poggers. And that makes you try to kill yourself. And so that's all the video is, by the way. It just tells you to kill yourself. And so it zooms into your mind, which hypnotizes you. And this was actually a pretty cool
It's just that clip from Family Guy where it's, look, it's the Slender Man. Shoot, 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 kill yourself. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
So... so it actually is a cool scene where it zooms into his mind, and you see Makoto is feeling the guilt of survivor's guilt, basically, from surviving the first game. And you see all the people who were either murdered or executed from the first game show up, and they're all like set up in a way like in their dead like poses. Which was kind of cool. Like Sayaka shows up, like guilting him about how he's just surviving. She has like a big knife in her. Kyoko's there because she just died from the poison. She has like the poison mark all over her.
That one dude's like still on his gay cross or whatever.
Yeah, Chihiro's still crossed up. Celeste is being burnt to the stake. Mondo was turned into butter. I probably should have mentioned that. Probably should have mentioned that was his execution. He was turned into butter.
That's fine.
But yeah, all that shit. And so he starts freaking out. He tries to like stab himself. But Juzo boys, the Mr. Homosexual shows up and stops him from killing himself and says, "No, buddy, you gotta still have hope or whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna go die over here now. Bye." And so he runs over, turns all the power off, dies because he got stabbed. By the way, he gets stabbed. Spoilers. He dies. And everyone who's still alive gets to have a happy ending. It's like, well, we made it out of here. Oh shit, fucking. It wouldn't be that. Wait, we still have 3 episodes left, don't we? Or sorry, we still have one last episode. We're gonna call this episode not the future episode, not the despair episode. We're gonna call it episode Hope. So episode Hope is slightly longer than the others, and what happens?
It's just the fucking beach episode.
No. So one of the people that was trapped in there was that ultimate animator from high school. And he's like, oh my god, this is how it happened. I didn't want my technology to be turned like this. This is fucked up, dude. I can't believe the fucking director like used me like this. I'm gonna fix everything. Like, yeah, that's it. Good job, buddy. Yeah, have hope for the future. And he's like, I'm gonna make a hope video and hypnotize everybody to feeling good all of the time. All right, see, I'm like, oh, hold on a minute there. I don't know. That's a little weird, all right? That's kind of like, yeah, you're doing something nice, but it's kind of fucked up. You can't just hypnotize the entire planet with that big antenna up there. He's like, yeah, you're kind of right. So like the guards come in, like they're finally breaching, like they're trying to save everybody. He's like, "Go, guards, take out to here. Hey, watch this." He holds up the Sissy Hypno compilation in front of the guard, and he's like, "All right, now do whatever."
He just shows them. He shows them that YouTube video of the kid dancing with the dog with the Brazilian flag behind him.
Yeah, and so the guard goes like, "Sir," he's like, "All right, stop these guys. I'm gonna go hypnotize the world." I'm like, "All right, sir." And so now he turns the entire army against the protags. And so with his hypno video, and so he's like, all right, time to just go hypnotize the entire world. So he starts doing his slow, like, now he's the main villain, like, walk to the fucking antenna. But then the cast from Danganronpa 2 show up to save the day because they're still in this series.
All 16 of them?
Well, it's 15. Remember, Chiaki is dead. Chiaki's actually dead. She died in the past. It was just a video game character drawn from their memories when they got put in the pods. Okay. Yeah, because everyone's alive except for her. She's dead. She's actually dead. She got sawed. She got fucked. But everyone else is okay. Everyone's okay. They're all survived this hypno things. And I actually like what the anime does is that it actually fleshes out the imposter. Because the imposter Byakuya dies pretty much immediately, you know? So he gets like this whole backstory where like he teams up with the ultimate animator to like live his life for him and shit. And he has this really nice scene where like we had to go save our teacher. Yeah. And the ultimate imposter rips off his mask, so you see his actual face where he has like black hair. He's like, and he has a different voice. Like, yeah, I'm gonna help you guys too. Like, whoa, who the hell is that? Like, I'm the imposter. You don't need to know my name. But either way, even if you guys don't know the real me, I still think of you all as my friends. I'm gonna help you guys out no matter what. Which was kind of a cool scene. I actually really liked him.
Now, this is an imposter that's not sus.
Yeah, but everyone shows up. Like, Peko shows up, starts cutting down the guards. What I really liked is that Munukata is, like, doing, like, this anime sword fight, and he's fighting off the guards, and then the ultimate imposter slides in with, like, a spinning, like, fucking Guilty Gear Greed Saber slash, and he stops, and he's dressed up as the fucking Persona 4 guy. And like, whoa, you look just like me. Because again, he can't ever be in his real form. He has to be an imposter. So every time he shows up on screen in this episode, he's in a different disguise, which I thought was kind of funny.
But he's still fat, right?
Yeah. So you can tell it's him.
That's kind of fun.
I like that joke. But like Gundam shows up, he like there's a he turns a bunch of different ultimate talented people against everybody, but they all use their talent. The good guys, the Danganronpa 2 cast, use their talents against them. So like Soda is the ultimate mechanic. He builds a bunch of little mini Nekomaru like robot bombs to blow up the ultimate like machinist. Gundam's the ultimate breeder, so he goes up to the ultimate falconer, fucking speaks in bird, and it turns the bird against his attacker and shit. And then like
the bird just turns 180 in degree. It's got a huge fucking bird boner.
just beats the shit out of him. Everyone's just doing shit, and it's just fan service things like, hey everybody, remember from everyone from 2? Well, that entire game didn't matter. There were no consequences. Aren't you happy?
But also, they're still here.
Well, because remember,
you can keep going, Aleks.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think you don't have to justify it to me.
Okay, yeah, fine. So then Hajime shows up, and remember, Hajime has this one yellow eye and one red eye. He still has the memories of Hajime, but he still has all the powers of the ultimate. So there's this entire like army of like different like random talented people like with weapons and shit defending the guy who's about to send out the Sissy Hypno video, the Sissy Hypno compilation, and they'll like hold their weapons. He just like the camera just turns to his one red eye, and then it cuts to hear like the door explode behind the guy. He turns, he sees fucking Hajime standing behind him with the drip jacket on because he just beat everyone up himself because he has every power. So the cast of Danganronpa 2 then has to debate against fucking the animator kid and tell him that even if you Sissy Hypno everybody into feeling hope, that's not real hope. It's just fake bullshit. You have to let people feel it on their own and blah 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 and tell them to not send out the video. So he's like, you're right. I guess sending out this video would be kind of cringe. So he stops it. Everyone's alive except for the other people that died. Everyone's happy. Nagito meets up with Makoto. Tells him how much he wants to suck his fucking hope wiener. They pull him away. Everything is all said and done. Everyone from 2, except for Chiaki, is all alive, and everyone gets out of a happy ending. And also, Kyoko isn't actually dead, because why would there be any consequences to this fucking show? Because off screen,
and then there's still 2 episodes.
No,
right?
This is the last episode because off screen, Kyoko drank an antidote that was created by the ultimate chemist that would nullify the poison. So even though it looked like she was affected, she was just basically just knocked out. So she wakes up, meets up with Makoto. They fucking get married or some shit, whatever. And they reopen Hope's Peak Academy, and they're gonna do it right this time. No bullshit, none of these kill games, no despair. They're gonna have a nice, happy ending. In fact, this ending was so stupid, the English dub makes fun of it because Kyoko in the English dub says, "Yeah, I have no idea how I lived. I'm pretty sure I died." They aired that on TV.
Okay, this feels like I was watching an episode of WWE Raw. The level of storytelling quality. Aleks, I respect that you somehow had like the endurance to go through all of this.
It's because
this is like a condensed 3-week Homestuck intensive course. I don't know how you did it. It took me 10 years to go through that level of filth.
So there is an actual reason. So like if I was streaming it for my friends. And
there's an actual reason. I actually have bad taste.
There's a reason. Despair, lol. So oh fuck, god damn it. You know what fans would say if you said the anime sucked? They'd say, Are you in despair? That's what they wanted from you. I'm gonna kick them in the nuts.
I'm sorry, were you a fucking child molester? Don't talk to me.
I would Rochambeau them. Anyway, the reason I was able to get through all of this is because I was doing it together. I was doing this for my friends. I was streaming the entire series to them, so we were all doing this. It was like how me and you played Phoenix Wright together. That amplified the fun a lot, solving the mysteries together, watching the story together. So if I was doing this by myself, I wouldn't have played past the first fucking game because I hated that ending so much.
Yeah.
So it's because my friends were able to put a gun to my fucking head and make me fucking continue. Unfortunately, Tad, this is not the end of the story. This is gonna be a 2.5-hour episode. There's one more product to end this full thing off.
The third-person shooter?
No, we talked about we glossed over Ultra Despair Girls. V3.
I'll tell you right now, Aleks, this has been 2 hours. I could not even tell you the plot of the first game anymore.
That's fine. Because it doesn't matter, Tad. Despair. There's one last product. After Danganronpa 3, they kind of ran into...
Is there a mobile game?
No. They ran into a problem. Okay, the story's done. Junko's dead. Hope is restored. Everything was a happy ending. The main character got married. Everything's done. Like, you can't do anything. Or can you? Here's the thing. The director was once again receiving death threats every other day.
Wow, the Danganronpa fan base sure seems like they're emotionally stable.
And he got so fed up with this, he said, "You want another fucking visual novel? You want one? You want one? All right." Cracks his knuckles. All right, yeah, all right, fine. We'll make one. We'll make another one. Just for fucking you. Just for you. You'll get the best one you've ever fucking seen. Just you fucking wait. And so, a couple of years to make it, they make Danganronpa V3. So again, despite its name, it's not the third game. So Danganronpa V3 is the third visual novel of the game series. It actually has nothing to do with the other two games. It's like a spin-off story, basically. Because they couldn't continue the story with Junko and shit anymore. It was done. You know, you can't just keep reviving the Joker, right? So this time, it takes place at a school in, like, the future. 16 students, all trapped by a bunch of weird fucking robot mech suits, all gotta kill each other. Nice, simple fucking setup. It's a nice murder mystery again, with a little, like, overarching plot. Turn to the fucking basics and no more Junko. And I was into this idea a lot. And there's actually something new that happened. When the game starts off, you actually play as a girl protagonist instead.
I just assumed you played as a girl in the second game.
No, you're Hajime.
The image you sent me, that looked like a girl.
But, remember, Hajime's the last one. But you play as Kaede there.
That don't matter.
If you look at the image I give you, she's number 8 right there. Wachum. Kaede. She's the ultimate pianist. Which I kept laughing saying P. Because I'm a child. So, in this game, it comes off with the worst first case I think I've ever had. Ted, imagine you go through the entire, like, tutorial bit, the prologue, the minigames, all of that things, and the twist is you were the killer and you just didn't realize it.
See, okay. Now, as you kept layering more and more garbage on top, you had the Yu Yu Hakusho Tower of... You had the fucking... What was it? The tower that Goku climbed in Dragon Ball to go see the cat guy to get the senzu beans.
Tommy's Lookout.
You had that in fucking Danganronpa, where they were all climbing it and fighting people and doing fucking Naruto Black Eye Chuny trash. But this is the lowest I've heard. How much farther can it go?
Well, don't worry, it's going to get a little worse. So, because I have one big scathing remark that's going to come up soon. So, I thought it was kind of funny.
I think this game is not very good.
I'm going to cross my arms like a YouTuber.
No!
So, I thought it was really funny. I'm like, oh, hey, there's a female protag. That's actually kind of cool. I know there's like a shitload of fucking those dumbass fucking like teenage kinnies out there and all those fucking girls in Sims or whatever who would probably really like this. Oh, she's immediately dead. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. I wonder how they liked that. I felt kind of bad. So then you actually play as Shuichi right there, right next to her, number 9. He's the ultimate detective, and then you go through the entire game as him, basically. And the writing quality of this game is actually a little bit better. I like that the characters are not just defined by their, like, things anymore. Like, Tenko over there on the far left. Tenko is the ultimate Aikido master, but she doesn't just talk about fucking Kung Fu all day. Instead, she just keeps talking about how much she wants to molest that little girl on her right and drink her pee. So she's a very good character, and I definitely didn't hate her the entire way.
Okay.
I hate her so much, dude. You have no idea. Imagine your opening line is not only that you are a fucking horny lesbian, but you also are a piss fetishist.
Aleks, okay, so I'm gonna give you another example of just how much. Okay, so in Homestuck, right?
Oh, God damn it.
There's a few characters I really enjoyed, right? And then the series was over, and I was like, wow, that was fucking trash, right? Okay. Then there was like the Homestuck epilogues. So they do something that's about as trash, poo-poo, stinky garbage as this. So okay, do you remember there was like Rose? She was like the pink girl,
yes,
right?
Yeah, I remember Rose.
And then there was like the green alien, Kanaya. She had like the Virgo thing.
Yeah.
All right, so they were like a couple early on, and then that was just kind of whatever. So I guess the point of the epilogues was this. It was interesting. Like, oh, you want a fucking ending? All right. Here you go. Bam, and just threw a bunch of garbage, and it was like watching a toilet flush, but like in a good way. I actually liked it. I don't know. It's hard to describe. I did a whole episode on it that you didn't listen to.
It was like 5 hours long.
No, it was not. It was like the epilogue one was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm running out of excuses. So shit, I'm starting to sweat here. But I'm gonna shit out another visual novel real quick, like Kodaka.
But the characters are treated in that with about the same level of like whiplash. Like, oh, this is what we're doing? Oh, okay. And then Homestuck 2 was even worse. Like, it was just like Danganronpa, where it starts off like, oh, okay, okay, that's good. And then you have the second one, which is the shitter where Homestuck ended. And then it got even lower with the epilogues, and then it got even lower. It just kept getting worse.
Yeah.
Did you know that in the Homestuck sequel, Rose was knocked up by that other girl, Jade, and then secretly raised a half-wolf baby that dresses like the Nostalgia Critic? And there's no justification given for any of it?
Okay, all right. I'm gonna do something really bad. Hold on, Ted. I had to ask a really stupid question. How did a girl make another girl pregnant?
Oh, no, there was... no, she just has a dog penis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Speaking of speaking of pregnation, so in Danganronpa 3-3...
This is about the same level of quality writing. So, Homestuck 2 in whatever the fuck, I don't know, the 7th Danganronpa this game one is. I don't even know anymore.
Now, I actually want to talk about something that's a little more important, is that there's actually a big reason I hated the twist of the first case in here. So you being the killer, because you did a bunch of actions, kind of like, it... So you drop a big fucking shot put ball down like a vent, which ricochets down and kills Rantaro, the guy in number 12. He dies pretty much immediately. So you're the murderer, and it tells you that you do like you drop everything you were carrying and run out the door. It tells you do these things. It doesn't like it's a bullshit thing. It's bullshit. I'm gonna say it's bullshit.
It just says you do yada yada yada, but you didn't have any player agency to do that.
Yeah. So setting you up as the murderer,
your character was not set up as someone that would. You as a player character are not like, oh, well, it would make sense for me as my character to do this thing. Like, it makes sense that my dude would do this kind of thing.
She was trying to kill someone else. She was trying to kill the mastermind, but because there's a secret door. But Rantaro was investigating the secret door because he found out about it. So he was caught in the crossfire of her plan, basically. But that does make her a murderer, which then makes her makes her sus, and she has to get executed. But anyway, so the reason I hated that case is because... Not because the twist was bullshit, or I just loved the character or anything. It was more of like, if you are willing to write this, then what's stopping me from being the murderer again? What's stopping you from just doing this shit all the time, right? What is stopping
this
from
Aleks, you would have to be able to... It wouldn't be a very good story that's being told. Oh, yeah, that's right. That doesn't really... that option doesn't really matter for Danganronpa. That doing it again would make it a bad story.
Yeah. And once again, I was looking forward to this one for being different, for not having to do anything with the previous story, because I was so worn out with Junko that I was happy when someone told me she wasn't in this game. I was like, hey, I'm gonna look forward to this. Ted, when has looking forward to a piece of media ever worked out for me? When has it ever worked? When have I ever felt joy? So after being horribly disappointed, I actually just said, okay, I just asked everyone in the public Discord, does this get better after this? Yes or no? I need to know right now, or I will just look up the ending. I do not care anymore. This game series sucks. Kodaka is a hack. The first game was a fluke. Those first couple cases weren't actually good. All an accident. All of this is bullshit. It has never reached any level of quality since like the fucking ending of 1. This is all bullshit. Right now, tell me to my face, does this get better? They said, a little bit. I appreciate the honesty of not hyping it up too much. I believe them, unfortunately, and I continued the game. So, in the second case, it's not the case I want to talk about. It's the mini game I found out. You can go to a casino and unlock a bunch of bonus items by gambling and getting coins, right? Now, there's a secret item for 10,000 coins you can get called the Love Key. And I'm like, what the fuck is that do? Like, well, you have to buy it and find out. I said, that's 10,000 fucking coins. Either tell me what it does or I'm gonna Google it, motherfucker. I'm not, like, remember, I'm in a pissy mood after case 1. I'm not in the mood for their fucking bullshit. I am being an asshole right now. So I Google it. And so what the Love Key is that it is an item that lets you fuck one of the characters at random. So I immediately...
At random?
Well, because you consume the key and then one random character shows up at the Love Hotel.
That's kind of sick.
So
I like that it's random.
Yeah, so you can just say Gunter right there, the big caveman guy. You can be like, oh boy, who do I get? Gunter kicks in, Gunter need hole, and grabs you and fucks you in the butt. So anyway.
That's funny.
So it's when I read that, I just said, oh. I read one of them, because I like, wait, intimate moment. There's no way they actually just have these characters. Oh. I read The very first one, which was unfortunately Himiko's there, so I look kind of sus with that one. But listen, she was the first one there. But
Sure.
I just said, oh no, this is why it's everyone's favorite, isn't it? Because you can just fuck the characters. So I dug myself, much like how you do when you make an argument, dug myself into not a ditch, but a full-on bunker. That I believe that there's no way this game is good. People just like it because they get to have sex in it. So
It's the Fate Grand Order gimmick, where the first game in Fate Grand Order, you got the fuck King Arthur, and then everyone's just waiting and hoping they have to do it again.
So I go through this entire game, and I'm not angry, but I'm just not feeling it. You know what I mean? I'm going through the motions of it, where there's some fun I'm having, but it's ultimately just like, I just don't care anymore. I just want it to be over. I'm sure you as a Homestuck, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're like, you're in your chapter fucking like, or page number like 1478, just saying, I'm so far in, just get it over with.
I just want to be done. That was in the episode, Aleks. I mentioned how for Homestuck, there's like a Homestuck off ramp where it's like, oh, all right, I'm done with this. I've gotten enough of a conclusion. I'm cutting my losses. I'm done. I'm not giving any more real estate in my fucking brain to these people without them paying any rent.
After all of this shit, all the cases happen, everybody's dying. There was one case that I actually really liked, so I kind of want to talk about it. It made me kind of think that this game, okay, maybe this wasn't so bad. So I talked about Gunta right there, the caveman, right? So he's the ultimate entomologist. He loves bugs, and he's a little stupid, but he has a big heart, and he's really strong. So at one point in chapter 4, Miyu there, the horny bitch right there, who never shuts the fuck up about how much cum she likes to drink, and also she if you call her a stupid dumb bitch, she gets off to it, so it immediately gets weird.
Jesus Christ, dude.
She's one of my friend's favorite characters.
Are you kidding me with this fucking game? Like, are you just fucking with me, or is this actually how this game is?
I like Suiko Kichi right there, number 10. I thought he was kind of annoying as like the rival character who just like argues with you just cuz, but he does this bit where Miyu says something stupid and he just says shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch. And I was like, damn, all right, shit, this guy's awesome. But then she
does like a fucking anime noise. She
goes, I'm like, okay, this is not funny anymore. It's getting weird. So
it just, God, I would not be able to do this, Aleks. I would not be strong enough.
To quote a line that Miyu says, she said, he's like, oh, sorry, let me explain this a little slower so that a stupid dumb cum dumpster like you can understand. And she's like, cum dumpster? She's like surprised by that. So then you go through the debate and you're talking to everybody, and the last one is just her masturbating, saying, "Someone finally called me a cum dumpster."
God, this game, how the
So this is my friend's favorite in the series.
Okay, which one of your friends said that was their favorite character again?
My friend Scanny, who I'm just going to put on full blast. That's the one.
Dude, come on.
Hold up. I would like to point out to the audience, that's the guy who made me fucking buy it on sale in the first place. That's the guy I talked to in VR chat. He's the one who started this whole thing too. Just letting that, throwing it out there, the consistency. That was him.
Oh.
Anyway.
Just...
I thought that's the case.
I think everyone should be legally forced to just crank one out before doing anything. Like, can you just stop for like a second?
Again.
Again,
there's a limit. I'm not anti-booba or anything. I mean, fucking, you know me. I play fucking Fate. I'm not
anti-booba, but it's like at a certain point.
Hey, shut up at a moment, right? Like, okay, I get it, she gets off to it, but you have to make her get off multiple times in each trial. Like, is this part necessary?
Is this joke really that good?
Basically,
you know.
So anyway, I got to have a case for her. I just want to criticize her for a minute. That's why I put in my little list there, character in like 4 fucking quotation marks. But anyway,
I saw that. Yeah,
I want to talk about Gunta. So case 4 is you all go to a little virtual reality thing. So luckily this one isn't a virtual reality system this time. They're not gonna do that twist a second time. All right, so that rules that out. So in the virtual reality thing, they set up all this bullshit. and Miyu ends up dying, and she
Okay.
gets
What a shame.
yeah, she got strangled in game, which means like in the real world, her body was like clutching at her neck, like because she got strangled.
Oh God, that's right. Because it's got the stupid half game thing. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
So she's dead. You have to figure out who the fuck did it. You think like, okay, maybe it was Kaito over there because he woke up and he got out of the VR thing earlier than everybody, but no, it couldn't have been him. They're figuring out all this bullshit, and it is revealed that it was actually Gonta, and and you're like, well, hold on a fucking, whoa, back it up, record scratch. It's Gonta. He's he's literally like a teddy bear. There is no way it was Gonta. And so
Gonta need hole.
And so the thing is that Gonta, because he's like a caveman, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's like free, like, what? It can't be Gonta. It's not me. And so what happened is that when they were putting on the VR things, he mixed up the wiring, so he doesn't remember what happened in there. But what happened in there is that Kokichi showed him what the outside world looks like, which made Gonta freak out. And Kokichi told him, rather than trying to live out in that horrible destroyed, because the world's like on fire, it literally like meteors came.
That's right. Yeah.
Meteors came and destroyed the entire world. Different world this time. The world is like flattened and leveled, like Apocalypse Now thing, right? So like the 2012 like disaster movie happened, right? So he convinced Gonta, rather than have them all live in that terrible world, they're better to die here, but like in like the video game world with a smile on their face. So Gonta killed her and was going to work on getting everyone else. Just he was trying to mercy kill people. But he doesn't remember that he did that because he mixed up the wiring. And it's actually like a really heartbreaking scene where you, the detective guy, have to convince everybody that Gonta did it using deductive reasoning because like, he's the only one that didn't have like an alibi for that moment. But no one believes
and
you.
No one wants no one wants him to be it.
Yeah, and they're all going against you and trying to fucking like they hate you for this and getting mad at you. And Gonta is just crying because he's kind of slow, so you have to convince him that he murdered somebody that he doesn't even know that he did. So there's like
it sounds again,
through,
Aleks, like a case in Layton versus Phoenix Wright.
Well, hey, I only played the first case of that. But anyway.
Yeah, you play the one with that chocolate bar, and you're like, this game doesn't have enough anime girls coming for me. Sorry, Tad.
I just wasn't interested in playing a visual novel at the moment. Is that so hard?
Yes.
I just didn't feel it. Anyway. I actually really got into that case because the voice actor actually did a really good job of just Gonta just crying, saying like, no, it wasn't Gonta, because he's talking like a caveman. You would like, no, it was you, Gonta. You have to admit it. You're the only one who could have done it. And it'd be like, dude, lay it off of him. What the fuck is wrong with you? It has to be him. Like you caused this huge rift. It's actually a really good case. His voice actor did a very good job. That's why I praised him in the little image right there. I was sold. Kokichi actually did a really good job voice acting that scene too. Both of those actors, I'm just going to give praise. Very good job. You guys did good in that game you voice acted like 4 years ago. But after that case, you go through the rest of the game. Gonta dies. It's sad. And you cause this rift where no one really wants to talk to you anymore. And you need to try to like repair your friendships and shit. So after this all happens, then fucking Kaito and Kokichi disappear, and a dead body is crushed in a fucking like metal press. You can't see who it is, so you have to figure out who did that. And it was a reverse murder mystery that Kokichi set up by Kaito getting shot by a poisonous arrow fired by Maki that was aimed at Kokichi, but Kaito deflected it, which then poisoned him. And so Maki went to go get the antidote for Kaito, because she likes Kaito. She didn't want to kill Kaito. She wanted to kill Kokichi, because Kokichi's a little asshole. And so Kokichi snatches the antidote and pretends to drink it. And Maki's like, oh, fuck, and runs off. So now when Kaito dies, Maki will be the murderer because she poisoned and killed somebody. But Kokichi offers Kaito a deal because he didn't actually drink it. He just like, I guess he just spit it back out. I don't know. Fuck it. He's like backwash. He gives Kaito the antidote and says, drink this and help me with something. He sets up an impossible murder scene that Monokuma can't figure out, so that no matter who you vote for, Monokuma won't know, thus nobody can be punished, thus breaking the game and getting you guys all free.
Okay, that's actually kind of smart.
Yeah. So what he does...
How does it go wrong?
You figure it out. You're a detective.
Oh.
You ruin the plan.
Gotcha.
You literally fuck everybody over, once again making everyone hate you. I actually kind of like that setup.
Oopsie poopsie.
Yeah, so what happened is Kokichi, because he knew he was going to die, he's poisoned. He sets Kaito on the press, lowers the crane, the press, right before it cuts out, Like it like pauses the video recording, goes down there, all right, buddy, switch with me now. Can like actually murder me. Sits down in the press. Kaito hits a button, squishes Kokichi, and kills him. The thing is, though, is that you find out about the fake data, the video or whatever, and then that proves that the only person. Okay, so someone's in that hidden behind like this door right here, who's still alive and who's hiding. Whoever that is the only one who could be the killer. So even if like we don't have video, like little proof of it, deductively it has to be them. So eventually you go through the whole thing, that the second murder, all that shit, and Kaito like exits the thing, revealing that it was him, and which is another heartbreaking moment because you guys like everyone likes Kaito. He's literally Kamiya from fucking Gurren Lagann, so much so that he is voiced by Kamiya in both dubs, which I thought was kind of clever. But
so this game, besides being even further on the degenerate anime scale, doesn't sound as bad.
Yeah, and that's what I was feeling. I was actually feeling this too. After I get to the first case like twist and the horniness from like the fuck key. After like case 2 and 3, and especially after 4 and the 5 twist, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, okay. I was thinking, okay, I can definitely see why this game might be someone's favorite. It's disconnected from the old hope and despair bullshit. It's like it has good like writing besides the first twist, really. And this is all pretty concise, and honestly, it's all set up pretty well. All right, I'm feeling this. How could they ruin it? What if I were to tell you? What if I were to tell you it has the best ending in the entire series, and it made me really happy, but for the wrong reason?
Is it because it was the final one and there's never been another one since?
No, it's not that clever. So here's what happens. So it's revealed that there is a mastermind, and they are amongst us this entire time, plotting against us. And
they're among us.
It was actually hinted at the start, and I figured it out, and I felt really clever about it. So the person, the Junko function of this game is actually number 6 right there, Tsumugi, the ultimate cosplayer, the anime lover. So
I mean, ultimate cosplayer just sounds like you're doing like a great value version of the ultimate whatever the fuck, the guy who was like disguised as everyone.
Ultimate imposter. She can't disguise as regular people. She gets cospox. She can only disguise as fake people.
She has cospox?
Yes, a horrible rash breaks out across her entire body. She tries to dress up and act as another person. They write that in the first case, so you can't just say it was, her dressed up as somebody. They rule that out for the writing, so the cases aren't.
Okay.
That's actually a clever thing to do, so you don't, just always point at her for everything. But I was feeling that she was going to be something because she has done basically nothing in that game until then. But the hint was that there's a secret door in the girls' bathroom you find that goes to the secret room where the mastermind is. And she's the only. In the first case, her alibi was she walked away from the lunchroom to hang out in the bathroom for like a couple minutes. She went into the secret
just hang out in the bathroom.
Well, she had to go take a big fat fucking shit, Tab, but she's not going to tell you that because that's gross. But
well, no, this is Danganronpa. I would expect them to like fucking cut to a camera with her shitting on it.
Where would I tell you that Miyu? All right, never mind. I'm just gonna move on. So
I have so little respect for this game.
So I caught that and I thought it was really clever. So what happened is that Rantaro wasn't actually murdered by Kaede's iron shut-put ball, because you might be thinking dropping it in the vent and having it roll on top of his head is kind of convoluted, and it is. It shows you that it actually just totally fucking missed him. Because that play would never work. I thought that was kind of funny. What happened is Tsumugi went through the secret tunnel in the bathroom, past the secret door, because Rantaro was focused away because he looked at a camera that took a picture of him, went up behind him with a different shot-put ball and just beat his fucking head in and killed him, and thus pinned the murder on the shot-put ball that Kaede dropped. Thus, Kaede didn't actually kill him, thus you wrongfully punished her, thus the entire game is a fraud, thus we don't have to participate in it anymore. And you tried a 180 fucking Monokuma right there. And
okay.
Well, I should say 180 Tsumugi. And Tsumugi reveals is that this is all actually a TV show being broadcasted to the entire world because people love what.
Oh wait, no, wasn't that the? No, that was the first game's twist or whatever.
Well, the first game that was just that you were all murdering each other. To cause despair across the entire world. This is literally people signed up for this. This is Super Survivor. This isn't a murder thing. This is Super Survivor. And I'm just like, hey, what? So what happens is that what happens? Huh? No, hold on. It actually gets pretty cool though. At first, I was kind of scratching my head, like, wait, because she says is that everything that you know is a lie. Your backstory is everything. They hit you with these things called the flashback lights, which makes you remember things. No, they just put new memories into your brain. They fucking rewrite you. They sissy hypno you. So like you're not actually, you know, Shuichi the Ultimate Detective. Your name is like Jimmy, and you're playing the role of the Ultimate Detective. You just think you're him because you get hit with the light. All of this is bullshit. Now I asked the question.
Okay.
I asked. Wait, so are people actually dying or not? They don't answer that, so I think people were actually just dying. They were actually just killing these kids on TV. But what Tsumugi does is, because she's the ultimate cosplayer, she says all of this takes place in the fictional. We're continuing the fictional universe of Danganronpa. That's right, it's Danganronpa V3, and she transforms into Junko the 53rd, because this is the 53rd Danganronpa. This is way in the future. Where now everyone in the world has become such a big Danganronpa fan and won't leave us alone. We decided to up the ante every single time. And I started.
That actually makes sense. This is just the guy being like, I'm so fucking mad at you fucking squeeb lord pieces of shit. You want your goddamn Danganronpa?
And this is what I started.
You want your Danganronpa?
Exactly. And that's when I started to love it, because she puts out the big TV screen and it shows all the fans watching sending in comments, and all the comments are just like, Sakura is my muscle waifu. Season 23 was better. This ending sucks. Shuichi's so fucking cute. Heart. It's just all like a bunch of annoying fans being stupid, and I started to love the ending, because it's not because it's well written, because I can feel the frustration of Kodaka in every single keystroke. It was cathartic.
Save.
It was cathartic. And so what happens is she transforms from Juko into like Leon from the first game, and then into fucking Sayaka, and then into Peko. She transforms into every single character from the previous 2 games. They all voiced from the old cast too, which I thought was kind of cool. And she explains how like the game is, how this is all bullshit. You're revealing the whole twist to you, and then Shuichi like freaks the fuck out. He's like, no, this is impossible. Then, of course, we won't give you what you want. We'll just fucking vote for like this fucking other bullshit instead. Like, if you do that, like if you vote for despair, then the entire world will be despaired. Is that what you really want? Like, and I don't give a shit if that's what the world wants. I just don't want you to win. And then the camera bugs out. The screen goes dark, and then it lights back up. Ugh. Sorry, I swallowed something. Then it lights back up. Now you're playing as the robot Kibo. And then the thing, he goes from the ultimate robot to Shing, the ultimate hope. And now you have to play as Kibo, and you have to prove to Shuichi that you can still believe in hope, because Kibo is not a normal robot. Kibo, his little flick right there, well, first off, I should mention that's a signal of the protagonist, by the way. You notice that Kaede, Shuichi, and Kibo all have one. And,
like a little hair flick
yeah,
thing?
the little Hoge, whatever it's called in anime. And also Rantaro there, he's the ultimate survivor. He actually participated in a killing game before, and now he's in another one, so he has 2. Because he was the protag of a previous killing game. But
well, if he was such a good survivor, why didn't he win this one too?
That's literally the joke. They mentioned that joke immediately. But
okay.
But now you have to play as Kibo.
I'm glad to know that my wit and brevity is on par with Danganronpa V3.
So Kibo is the audience surrogate, and what happens is that all the fans typing things, whichever one gets like the most like votes, they constantly do polls, is what Kibo will do. So when Kibo had that weird like sex moment with Miyu that you walked in on and walked away from, that was what the audience wanted. The audience wanted to fuck Miyu. Shit like that. Everything that Kibo did is now you realize it's what the audience, it's just what all the annoying fans kept messaging Kodaka about. So
that's insane.
So Kibo, now you play as Kibo, had to prove that hope is still better than despair, and tell Shuichi though to man the fuck up and stop being a little bitch all the time, which I thought was a cool moment, because like you always like whenever you see someone's wrong, you go like, no, that's wrong. Your character cuts in, you shoot at the as Kibo, he's like, no, that's incorrect, because he's a robot. He talks a little differently. I thought that was so fun. And then Shuichi's like, but if this is all bullshit and hope and despair, either way, then he snaps back, like the camera goes dark, snaps back to Shuichi. He's like, then that doesn't make sense about Rantaro's murder then. And he snaps back to the case. And I'm like, ooh, it was all part of his weird plan. And so then Tsumugi keeps cosplaying, telling you all this bullshit. Then the camera pans again. It goes dark. Now you wake up, you're playing as Maki. And you have to prove as Maki to still believe in not hope, not despair, but to fucking not vote for anything. Instead, if we all just killed ourselves right now, that wouldn't be good TV, would it? You lose. You have to now not vote for anybody, so everybody dies at the same time. Thus, a shitty ending. Thus, making everyone unhappy. Thus, canceling Danganronpa and freeing the creators forever. That is their plan.
It's not a bad plan.
So you then have to play it. Then it, snaps. You play as Himiko. You play as all the survivors. And you have to. I like that a lot. They all have like art for it too. It's really fun. So nobody votes, but then they rip the thing off of Kibo and give him no more like free will, only control the fans. So if nobody votes and only the fans do, the fans will continue the thing, and thus the show will go on. Kibo doesn't vote, and so everybody loses because with their words, they convinced everybody that Danganronpa is a shitty series and they shouldn't make any more games of it. You have
Hell yeah.
And so what happens is like, no, I won't give up. I'll have Danganronpa continuing forever. And so rebellious audience members, annoying fans take over Kibo, and you have a fucking Typing of the Dead boss fight against Kibo possessed by fans, and they scream, "This ending sucks! I hate this fucking game! I supported you! You owe me!" Shit like that. And
that's kind of sick.
So
that's the balls on that to just be like, no, go fuck yourself. That's powerful.
You have to tell the fans to their face their taste is bad and that Danganronpa was never good. And you then you have to match the words, "We're canceling Danganronpa," and shoot him in the face. And
fuck yeah.
So this is why I love the ending. You have to tell everybody that they're fucking wrong and stupid. So by doing this, everyone says, "All right, you know what? Fuck Danganronpa." They cancel everything, and so Kibo just now they're possessed, starts destroying everything and blows everything up, kills everybody else, destroys and self-destructs, thus canceling Danganronpa forever. Now, if this was a good series, I 100% expected it was gonna do a Truman Show where it was just like, man, that was rad. What else is on TV? I thought they were gonna do that, but they don't. What happens is the credits play, and then underneath the rubble, Shuichi, Maki, and Himiko like rise out of it, like, holy shit, we're still alive? Well, now what do we do? Well, I mean, Kibo left that big hole for us, so I guess we can just kind of reintegrate in the real world. I mean, what is the real world anymore? I don't know. But I know for one thing, what? We're never making another game ever again. And then the game actually ends.
That's good.
So
that's good. That is a sick way to end it.
I fucking loved it. For the wrong reason. It wasn't because it was well written. It was because, dude, I fucking hate this series. I cannot believe they feel the same way I do. Holy shit, that's awesome. I just love the idea. I love the line, "I supported this series, you owe me," and then I have to tell him he's wrong. That's so good.
I'm gonna fucking bring up Homestuck again, because this motherfucker has made this new game, Psycolonials, that looks like shit. That's part of it is about like how fans will look at like a your brand or what, like if it's like social media influencers are the main characters, and how people are like treating them as if they fucking owe them shit. And this just seems like a much better written version of that. And based on the start of this episode here, I would never have expected at any point in my life I would say, wow, Danganronpa wrote this idea or concept way better than this other thing. But this has been a long road, but here we are, I guess. Yeah. Danganronpa did it. Now, imagine, Alex. Imagine for a moment if the rest of the game was like that. Where it just did crazy cool shit like that. Imagine.
I'm never playing Phoenix Wright, Dad. You can't convince me. I will unironically play it later.
Fuck.
Actually, is it... I'll get to it, femboy. Don't you fucking worry about that. Anyway, there is one last thing.
I was hoping you would catch the joke. I wasn't sure if you...
I had to process it. I was loading for a second there. I got onto it. Anyway, that's Danganronpa.
We have fun here.
That's Danganronpa. There is a post-game thing that they added where it's like a board game where you get to play as any of the characters from any game, and you get to go on this little like D&D adventure.
Mario Party adventure.
It's a Mario Party, and instead of minigames, you do like a little Dragon Quest like turn-based combat, but there's little friendship squares where every single character has an interaction with other characters. So like Gunta, who loves bugs, can meet up with Himiko, or from Hiyoko from the second game, who likes to crush bugs because she's a fucking psychopath who tortures animals and insects. So that they'll have like a bad moment.
I feel like they don't get along very well.
They wrote a bunch of these little stories of just characters from the different series crossing together in the post game, specifically because you want your fucking game? Bam! You want your stupid fan service? Bam! You want your fucking ending? Bam! You want every single little fanfic idea? Bam! Shut the fuck up and leave us alone. They literally put that whole board game in there just so like, okay, you want your little little fanfic where like character from 1 and character 2 meet up and fuck? Bam! There it is. Fuck off. Get out of here. Get out of my office.
Yeah. Get the fuck off my magic mountain.
Yeah, that's the whole series. And I know this is the longest episode we've ever done, but I had to go through the journey that I had. And I had to go through the first game like case by case because the cases in those games, at least to me anyway, I thought they were pretty entertaining. I kind of summed them up for you, so you probably didn't get the full like bit, but like I feel like they actually had decent amount of quality where even through their anime bullshit, they were still decent. Because even Phoenix Wright has some bad fucking cases, but like through the whole thing, I like the story that they were going for. It's when Danganronpa got more grandiose with the whole Junko being literally the Joker and taking over the world and the shit. Once they hit that shark, that's when the entire series went downhill. What they should have done is they should have just kept it all like concise. Like one psychopath just did this whole like saw murder death trap in the school, and like that was it. It was like an enclosed thing, right? It would have been, I mean, kind of dumb for one person to do that, but like I mean, say Saw is a stupid movie. Like if you lowered the power level from Dragon Ball Super back to Dragon Ball Classic, I think that game, this whole entire series as a whole, would have gone through like a lot better. Which
would have benefited.
Would have benefited a lot better from not having to constantly go back to like Junko destroying the whole world thing. That one bit ruined 2 and the 3 anime, right? All of it was just, to summarize it all, to bring it back from the very beginning of this episode, I found this series disappointing. I didn't go into it with very high expectations. I just thought this was going to be like Anime Phoenix Wright or like anime kind of Clue, right? That's all I thought. But it wasn't that. It was straight up some teenage, it was like Homestuck level, like teenage bullshit drama that doesn't really know what it wants to be, like if it wants to be goofy or just straight up dark and graphic. So it just keeps flip-flopping and giving you like tonal fucking whiplash the whole way through. I struggle to recommend this series to anybody. I really do. The first game, I can safely say, if it's on sale, check it out. I mean, I just told the whole fucking story for you, but I mean, I would recommend that the first game is actually pretty solid until the ending. I genuinely think that game has a lot of good ideas, and the entire setup of just like, again, like in case 2, where I hung out with 2 people, and then that was killed by the person I also hung out with, right? Like, I think the idea behind Danganronpa, the setup, is actually really fucking strong. I just think the actual writing quality struggles to have they struggle to do anything that isn't just like a murder case. They struggle super hard to do any actual overarching plot, and the entire series just so didn't like it.
It suffers from not knowing what, and this is gonna sound like the most fucking shallow like YouTube reviewer like phrase, but like it doesn't know what it wants to be.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And what it ends up being is fucking bad poo-poo stinky trash.
Pretty much.
I would not have been able to make it past the second chapter of the first game. I would have tapped out almost instantly, dude.
Now, I will say,
holy shit.
Now, I was actually to get a little more personal, I was actually worried after playing like this whole series and being like, remember when I said the first game made me so depressed, I had to like sit out in my living room, look out the window, just like think about life, how bad that ending was, because I got so into it pulled me in with like asking me all these questions and then answered them by slapping me in the face, right? And then every game after that kept getting like worse with its story. I had to start thinking about something like is this just bad? Or am I just genuinely like suffering from depression that I can't enjoy video games anymore? This game made me question my life about how I enjoy products. I'm going to leave off with a good note. Luckily, I played another new video game that I ended up really, really liking and enjoying like pretty much the whole way through. It's called Amori. I'll talk about that in a different thing because we're already at like 3-hour mark, but I don't have depression, basically. I can still enjoy products, so I can safely say, no, Danganronpa just sucks.
It was funny how closely your experience with this game made you go like take a huge step back and like, what the fuck? That is it's not even a meme. I'm not memeing here. That is exactly what happened when I finished Homestuck, where I was like, I spent 10 years reading this thing.
And that's why I wanted this episode.
Did I get anything out of this?
And that's why I wanted you on this episode, even though it was super long, because I knew you would get exactly what I'm going through right now. You would understand everything.
I would relate.
And you know what, Ted, just for you, I'm going to watch that 30-minute episode of the Homestuck video after I upload this fucking podcast for you. Just for you, baby.
Oh, you probably shouldn't, because I say a lot of racial slurs in it.
Nah, I don't believe that, because we're not on BitChute yet.
What is with you and BitChute?
I saw a video on BitChute which was just a hate speech video about Jewish people. So I point out I didn't watch the video. I just saw it in my relateds because I went to BitChute to see what it was. I saw people were uploading illegal episodes of like Kamen Rider and Power Rangers, and then just hate speech. And so
you have like Kamen Rider Agito episode 37, and then you have like Amazon DVD quality RIP episode 2.5, and you just have you have like Adolf Hitler's convention speech by like A Boy 1488.
So one person said BitChute is where you go to make videos if you've been canceled on every other platform, and I 100% believe it. So that's why I always mention it. If you say anything that's like slightly negative, I'll just say you go to BitChute.
Send him to the shoot mines.
Anyway, hope you liked this episode. Very long. Fuck Danganronpa, and I think everyone who likes it is wrong. Much like Final Fantasy Dissidia players, you're wrong. Stop liking it.
All right. Speaking of only liking things that are super good and well written, you can find the show on YouTube, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify. There's a Twitter in the description, Discord, Patreon, all that. If you're sticking around for the funny story I said at the start, I'm just gonna leave it in there. I don't want to edit that. That's a lot of work, so I'm just gonna not do that. You get to sit through. If you see a 3-hour-long video about Danganronpa, me talking about football and my cat in the starting 15 minutes is not going to deter you.
I appreciate that, Ted.
Thank you for making it to the end.
I appreciate everyone who viewed this episode, and I appreciate Ted for trying to sabotage my own episode.
Get fucked, nerd.